All right, going live. So I'm gonna send out the new link to everybody. Let's get everybody the new link. Doing this so that way we don't have any random strangers joining the group.
How many people are winning? 72? Not bad. Actually, decent attendance rate. Did you guys change the water?
What's going on? Yo, what up, everybody? Thank you for joining. We're going to go ahead and blast out this link to everybody. The reason we did this is we want to make sure nobody is joining the feed who should not be inside the feed. So I'm going to go ahead and blast out the new links. It's kind of like a last-minute strategy to switch it up real quick. Make sure you guys are on your heels. Go ahead and comment, guys, where you are coming in from, where you're tuning in from. What's going on, everybody? What's good? What's good? What's good?
Sound good?
Yeah. How's it sound, guys? Let us know how it sounds. Want to make sure you guys had enough time to get a personality test done.
I'm into typing 16 personalities on Google right now. And I type in M16.
Where'd the feed go?
It's the other browser. Just make sure we get everybody over.
Okay.
What's going on, everybody? What's good? What's good? Okay, everybody says sounds good, quality's good. Go ahead and drop your guys' personality type in the comments right now, guys. Okay, I don't know why there's still 32 people in the other one. The webcam camera, then the first link would have worked. But since we're doing HD and high quality, we can't do that. If you guys, let's see.
It's advocate.
You know letters?
I don't know the letters.
I'm going to look up advocate.
Cool. We got people tuning in. Just want to get the last 20 people over.
What is it? What is your personality?
That's what it's called.
That makes so much sense for Steven. That's so on fucking point.
Yeah, I remember you had me do it.
I'm gonna read it.
You don't even need to read it. You just know the letters.
Okay, yeah.
Letters.
So, for example, you're an INFJ, which means, introverted. I don't remember what N stands for, but F is for feeling and J is judging. So, for example, you would just pretty much in almost every aspect besides how you are with people, do the opposite of me.
Oh, really?
Yes.
How about you?
INTP. Maybe is the lens zoomed in right now?
What?
Is the lens zoomed in right now?
Yeah.
What's going on, everyone? How are you guys doing? I'm gonna look at the chat real quick. Look at what you got. Some of you guys. I'm gonna see if anybody got the same
Where's your laptop?
as me. I don't know where my laptop is. I just saw it.
Is it the big one?
Yeah. Let's let everyone pile in real quick, guys.
Oh, of course. Oh, that okay.
I see one person that got the same as me. Can we open the chat without the camera there?
Oh, 35%. Can we read the chat without the camera?
Yeah, I don't want to look at myself right now. Andy, we are the same personality type. That's cool. I see a lot of debaters. For everyone asking, mine is INTP. So let's start off this call with not so much breaking down your specific personality type.
Obviously,
But-
I'm gonna read that.
But let's start this off with you getting an understanding of what these are about. So go on Google. Hopefully you guys are on a computer. And pull up the page. It's on 16personalities.com. It's the page,
Just yeah.
our framework. So if you Google 16personalities.com and you put our framework. You can mute this. So everyone, you guys should have your, I'm looking at the chat. So if you guys do not see me looking at the camera, it's because I'm looking at you guys. Let's start this off with you guys getting an understanding. So everyone write down your own personality. Hopefully you guys had a chance to read about yourself. And I want, if you guys did write in the chat, if you did read about your stuff, you didn't just take the test and just, get your answer and, ignore it. If you did read about your personality, read about your strengths and weaknesses, if it was completely on point, I want you guys to just say it blew my mind or something like that. Tell me how you guys actually reacted to reading about your personality. This is how we're going to start this. This is a really important lesson for you guys. Obviously, the first live call, we did a lot of explaining what this training is going to be about. I am going to do about 15 minutes of updates for you guys. We are editing how we want this inner circle to go. And I'm trying to find ways all day right now on how to make this the best for you guys, like the absolute best. And through that, it's going to be trial and error. Obviously, this is the first time I've done something like live mentorship where you guys are here. And I also need to sit down and figure out, hey, what do the majority of people need to know moving forward? It's really simple. So let's go through this. So for the people saying it's a little accurate, but not completely, there's two outcomes there. Either you took the test and you weren't completely honest, which is totally possible. So if you don't feel like your personality was 100% accurate, either you're not entirely sure the answers to the question in an honest way, and there's nothing wrong with that, because sometimes it takes a high level of self-awareness and self-reflection to be able to answer these questions accurately. And so my best advice would be for you to sit down and really take time on each question and redo the test and see if you get the same result. If you do, then it takes time to say, hey, maybe just one of the letters is off or something. The rest of the people, I'm seeing it's 100% right, 100% right, exactly, pretty on point. On point like crazy, 100% really accurate. Made me laugh. It was crazy. At first I was like, what? And then I read all of them and I was like, damn, that's actually me. I was surprised to see I'm actually more of an extrovert than an introvert. You guys, it's cool to see this stuff. It's cool to know your strengths. It's cool to know your weaknesses. And the reason I say that is because you have to know what type of business person you're going to be. You have to know what type of entrepreneur you're going to be moving forward. That's such a key part. And if you don't know where you will specifically excel in an organization, I'm going to be honest, like not all of you guys are going to be CEOs of companies. And that's just the universe. That's just how everything is. But some of you guys have skills in ways that, like, for example, my personality type, we're going to go into this. I'm going to tell you guys the page I want you to open up again. So it's the 16 personalities, our framework. Everyone's saying.
Ask who's on the phone
accurate.
And who's on the computer.
What?
Yo, who's on the phone and who's on the computer, guys? Go ahead, comment so we have a heads up.
If you guys are on your phone and your computer, let me know.
All right, we need to know if you guys are able to watch and do multiple things at once.
Phone. So if you guys are on your phone,
can you get a computer?
If you're on your phone, if you guys can get to a computer, that'd be dope. If you guys cannot, just try to pay attention. I'm going to actually talk a little bit. Most people are visual learners. I think the majority of the population is. So it'd be good if you guys are on the page with me. If not, stay on the call, stay on your phone, maybe grab a second phone, maybe grab an iPad or something and get to that page. Because you have to know why people do the things they do and how they act the way they act. And, you know, you're not going to go up to every person you meet and have them take a personality test. But when you do know like the 8 different categories, you will really have a better understanding, and you can it's really easy to check one box and say this person is not this, so he has to be this. It's much easier to problem solve that way than to just try to figure out, be like, oh, I don't understand why this person screwed me over. I don't understand why I can't be good at this skill. I don't understand why I don't want to do this skill. It's important. So yes, computer and phone. Someone said I'm heading home. Perfect. Just really pay attention. If you guys took the test multiple times and you got the same result, I will tell you this test is almost like 99% accurate. And it's okay. There's not a single personality in here that doesn't have insane upsides, insane strengths. Okay. So if you got a personality, you don't really feel like it's you, you know, I'm not really sure what to say on that. I've never seen this test be wrong.
Right.
I'll tell you that.
Maybe
okay.
like one letter or something. But I mean, the biggest thing is you guys have to be completely honest while taking the test. I think a lot of people, if it's wrong, you see some things where you're like, oh, this doesn't really sound like me. It's because, you know, you might be taking it and putting the answer that you want it to be rather than what it actually is. You know what I mean?
Okay, let's jump into this, guys. Scroll down. If you guys are on that page, scroll down to it says 5 personality aspects. You guys should be able to see this if I put it there. Steven, can you focus? Right there, 5 personality aspects. Would the test results ever change over time? No. So for example, I think the most accurate way to say this is if you feel like, oh, you know, I'm an introvert now. And for example, I'm an introvert, right? But I have gotten better at acting like an extrovert and getting better at skills that extroverts are good at. For example, meeting new people. It's not the easiest for introverts. So if anybody started with the first trait, which is the mind, you have extroverted and you have introverted. Now, if an extroverted person, the easiest way and the most simple way I can explain this to you, you guys will see this on the page. So use that as a visual reference and then listen to what I'm saying. An extroverted person will take energy from people. And what I mean by that is you go out, you meet people, right? You feel when you're at home, you feel restless. You feel depressed. You feel when you're alone at home, you don't feel that good. And that requires you to be out. So a very social person is always going to be extroverted. And the reason why is because their brain is wired in a way where if they're not out meeting people and doing things and being active, meeting, like just literally being around people in any environment, they are on a lower energy frequency, right? They're on a lower energy level. They're not as upbeat. They feel depressed. Introverts, on the other hand, are the complete opposite. And this is where I come in. If I don't spend 3 out of 7 days of the week almost completely by myself, I get crazy. I get cranky. I get upset. I get, cloudy minded. And that's who I've always been. And so, when I was 18, I sucked at public speaking. I sucked at meeting new people. Like if you met me when I was 18, and maybe someone in here knows me from that back then, you'll know that I just couldn't hold a conversation with anyone. I couldn't look people in the eyes. I couldn't speak on video. I couldn't speak on camera. I couldn't public speak. I couldn't sit down in a business meeting and articulate what I wanted to say because of the fact that I was so in my own head during the meeting that I couldn't verbalize what I needed to say. So if any of you guys got the I, you got it introverted as your first letter, just know that you will always be an introvert, right? If you got E, you will always be an extrovert, but you can work on the skills to become better at either of them. So that's the first one. So understand that that's going to be the number one difference. It's really how you react to people and how you spend your time. For example, if I get most of my amazing business ideas and the ideas that have made me the most money when I'm chilling alone in a chair thinking to myself. And some people, like extroverted people, they might do that same thing, but they will be able to, I think the best way I can put this is they'll go to a business meeting or a mastermind and they can finally put that idea together. They can plug all the pieces together by talking it out with another person. Both of them are good skills, so it doesn't matter. Apple TV does hate live streams. Josh and I figured that out the other day. So for Harry, just know that Apple TV literally despises them. So before I get into talking about what to do throughout them, what's wrong?
No, I'm just trying to pull up the page and it's going really slow. This one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I got that one up in there.
Okay, so first, again, we have introverted personalities. I'm going to read this to you if you're on the phone. Introverted individuals prefer solitary activities and get exhausted by social interaction. They tend to be quite sensitive to external stimulation, sound, sight, smell in general. Extroverted individuals prefer group activities and get energized by social interaction. They tend to be more enthusiastic and outgoing, pretty much. The second trait we're going to go into is energy. The second aspect determines how we see the world and process information. Observant individuals are highly practical, pragmatic, and down to earth. They tend to have strong habits and focus on what is happening or already happened. So I am not an O. I am not an observant. I am intuitive, if that's how you say it. And the reason I say that is because I cannot keep a schedule. I cannot keep anything clean. I don't know what I'm doing today or tomorrow. And that's all right because that's who I am. Noted, now I have business partners, which is the exact thing I'm about to say is the thing you need to focus on the most in business. I have business partners that fix that part about me in my businesses. And that's the essence of this live call is understanding if you're an entrepreneur or an intrapreneur. And this is a hard pill to swallow, I think, for most people, because some people are not going to have a personality type where you're meant to be CEO. You might have a good business idea. You might be great at a lot of things. You just might not be the best at being the boss of a company. And that is okay. There's not everyone can be CEO. There has to be people as second place, second runners, teammates of the company that keep everything in check. This is why you have CFOs, you have COOs in companies, because usually the CEO is an NTP, right? The first three letters of it are an NTP. The last three letters are an NTP. The E or an I, it doesn't really matter. For example, I'm a logician and I handle things differently than Josh does. He is an ENTP. So anybody that wants to, he's a debater. So anybody that has those personality types, we can definitely relate to. But just know most CEOs, I'm not going to say you have to be an NTP to be a CEO, but that is the general situation. Now, I suck so bad at accounting, at taxes, at handling things on time. And that's why I have business partners that have literally, they could be any other personality, but they have the traits required to do those things. And they make $50,000 to $100,000 a month. So you're not going to be broke. You're not going to be you're not going to be good enough just because you don't have that skills. Just realize that. Just say, hey, I might not be the person that seizes every opportunity. And I might not be, because, Josh and I will talk and we'll say, if you want to become successful in the podcast, we say, you need to take opportunities and you need to, be adamant about these things. And you really need to be aggressive in your life. And some of you aren't like that. And I know some of you guys are going to relate to this. All right. So if you guys feel like after reading your personality that you're not entirely, you kind of understand why, people like Josh and I are very opportunity catching people, because we have a specific personality that throws a lot of things that are important in business away to be good at what we already do. All right. So everyone, before we keep going, I want you guys to let me know your opinion in the chat. Is that water changed? I think so. You want water, Josh?
Yeah, sure.
Could you go?
Not seeing any comments. Am I just going slow?
Yeah, and my
on
chat might be a few minutes late, like a few seconds late.
All right.
So please, guys, let us know your opinion on what you've heard. If you guys have felt like you're not a,
probably go over that.
It's been harder.
Definition of entrepreneur and intrapreneur too.
Do it. Go for it.
Word. All right, guys. So like Jeff said, we're talking about the difference between being an entrepreneur, being an intrapreneur. I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little raspy. Been at networking events all day, kind of losing my voice. So bear with me. But so, there's a difference, right? And as you were saying, a lot of CEOs are NTPs. Myself, I'm an ENTP, which is a debater. But I'm going to just go ahead and read you guys the definition of entrepreneur and intrapreneur, and then try to give you guys some examples. And you guys can even comment some examples, and we can see, bounce some ideas back and forth, see how that relates. Thanks. So by definition, an entrepreneur refers to a person who set up his own business or her own business with a new idea or new concept, something that they kind of revolutionize themselves. And an entrepreneur refers to an employee of the organization who is in charge of undertaking innovations in product, service, or process. So that doesn't necessarily mean like an employee, like you're on payroll. That could be a business partner. That could be the second man in command. So that's kind of the difference between the entrepreneur and entrepreneur. Personally, for me, I have a lot of people that work for me or work with me who are boss people, whether they're freelancers, whether they work for me, or whether we're even partners with stuff. They are somewhat entrepreneurs, but in retrospect, they're actually entrepreneurs because I have to tell them what to do. They need to be told and kept accountable. They need to come back and ask for my advice. And obviously, some people sometimes start as entrepreneurs, and naturally they are entrepreneur, so they grow out of that because they have to learn the skills and develop the skills. So you just have to ask yourself what you naturally are as a person, based off your personality type and based off your skills and who you think you are. Let's see. So some other things that it says on here. So basis for comparison: entrepreneur uses their own resources. An entrepreneur would use resources provided by the company or provided by their business partners. Capital. So entrepreneurs, they raise their own capital. They find a way to come up with the money. Entrepreneurs, they use capital that is already given to them by the company, by the business partner, by something that they didn't go out and earn themselves. The risk. So entrepreneurs are taking the risk themselves. They're the ones taking the risk. They're the one putting everything on the line. Entrepreneurs are the people who are, they're taking risk in terms of their specific space or niche of the company, but they don't bear all the risk if something fails or goes wrong. The company usually takes that fall, even though they can still get the reward if that risk ends up paying off. Let's see. So yeah, that's kind of the main difference, guys, really when it comes to being an entrepreneur or being an entrepreneur, is just you doing everything, calling all the shots, coming up with all the ideas, innovating, creating. Or being an entrepreneur, like you work good with somebody else who does that. And there's nothing wrong with either one. But if you actually want to be successful and you actually want to get to the next level, you need to find what you're best at and what you are destined to do so you can excel at it. Because if you go out of your way and you try to be something you're not and do something that you're not necessarily ready to do, you're just going to end up hurting your success in the long run.
So let's move forward. we went through pretty much the first one. If we go to energy, we have observant and we have intuitive. Obviously, observant people are going to like be really good at keeping the company together. And so I actually just thought about this while Josh was talking. I think the best way I can say is I think anyone can be the CEO or this, the founder of a company. I think the thing you have to realize is that you're going to have to find someone that can take care of the other half of your business. Now, before you jump off this call and you jump to finding a business partner or anything, you should never get a business partner until it's time. You should never get a business partner. I think extroverts do this the most, is they find business partners, and introverts, I think, have the easiest time not doing this. Extroverts rush to find a business partner because they're lonely and they feel like they need a running partner to succeed. And that is the absolute farthest thing from the truth. If you know you have a solid plan, right, and you have everything you need to succeed, I don't care how fucking lonely you feel. Do not rush to get a business partner. Now, I ran all of my businesses with no actual partners. I ran them with employees until a year and a half ago is when I finally said, hey, I have seen qualities in certain people that deem them qualified in the long run to be business partners, okay? There's a big difference than rushing to get a business partner because you feel lonely or you're scared to do it on your own. When you do that first option, what happens is you always get burned. You always get burned if you rush to find a business partner. Now, let's talk about this. So observant people, they have good habits, they're down to earth, and they focus on moving forward. Intuitive individuals are like open-minded, they're curious, and they don't really care for stability. So, if you are an intuitive, your mind is not really caring about how your bills are going to be paid in 2 or 3 months, right? Your mind is more focused on how these next few months you're going to make the most money ever. You're not worrying about the stability side of things. This is why I find it so important when you find your first business partner or you find someone else. For example, Josh and I, we are good running partners. I think there's a difference between business partners and running partners. We are more running partners than business partners. We do businesses together, but we both are a similar type of person. Thankfully, I'm an introvert, and that allows me to give Josh a different perspective a lot of the times, and he gives me the opposite perspective that I sometimes need. Josh is very, very, very good at staying on top of the market. I think that's something that extroverts do so well, is they're always analyzing, they're always checking up what everyone else is doing while I'm focused on what I'm doing. And I think that's a key thing in our relationship. So running partners, business partners are different things. Now, my main business partner for some of my businesses is a O, which means an O, and along with it, he is. So if you guys are wondering why I keep saying these letters, again, go to that page, 16 Personalities, our framework, and look at the list. It's really important you guys do this. And I hope you guys start to remember
Some
these.
of the 5 personality aspects.
If we go to feelings, if we go to the nature side and you look at, we have thinking and feeling. Feeling people are great with understanding, for example, employees, customers, potential business prospects, while thinking people are better at, just in general, thinking people, they don't get caught up with how other people feel. And that gives you a unique perspective in the sense of, if I was an F, I wouldn't come on here and I would be like, guys, I understand why you're not successful. And I get it. I understand that, things can be hard. And that type of person in a big business, in a successful business, is super important. And I am not that person. And I understand that. I'm not here to sympathize with anybody. And I'm not here to understand. And I'm not here to sit here and feel you out. But I will tell you guys this. In a business, you need to understand how to understand employees and understand customers and understand everything that's going on with people in your business. And that's why feeling people are amazing. And thinking people are really good at scaling and, forgetting the small problems and so many things. So, so true. Yeah. So someone said I'm an extrovert and I feel like I need a business partner right now. And extroverts love to do that. They love to find running partners. I know when I met Josh, he had like 5 business partners. And I was like, you do not need any of these people. And this is when Josh was like 18, 19. This is a really true story. I was like, all of these people are not here for you or to see this business succeed. They're here because you're paying them too much money for what they're worth. And what you're doing is you're belittling yourself and you're holding yourself back like a poor dating relationship. If you date someone that's, if you're in a relationship because you're lonely, it's the stupidest reason to date someone, because what ends up happening is you're in the relationships for the wrong reasons, and it always causes drama and trouble. And in business, the more drama and the farther you can get away from everything, every distraction in your life, the better. I'm not telling you guys not to date or be in a relationship or be married. I'm saying do it for the right reasons, and same with a business partner. When I met Josh, he had to learn this lesson the hard way. And I told him this. I was like, dude, all of these people are not here for the long run. I was like, you don't need any of them. And I didn't say this in a sense where I was like trying to bring him down. I was like, yo, dude, I've been through this. I've watched people do the same thing. Every extroverted entrepreneur I know in their early stage of being an entrepreneur has overextended themselves with business partners.
And I'll tell you guys what, Jeff's talking about this right now. And I think we kind of talked about it in the first live call. We're here giving you guys advice. We're here mentioning you guys, like, take what we say and actually do it. Take what we say and actually implement it. Because we're speaking from firsthand experience. And when Jeff first told me this, probably like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
About 2 years ago, I was like, look, man, you don't know what you're talking about. This is different. Like, I promise you, like, I know what I'm doing.
Here for the long run.
Yeah. I was like, these people are helping me. These people are helping me scale. I need these people, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And 5 months later, I'm like, dude, Jeff, you're completely right. I wish I would have listened to you, because I probably paid out an extra $100,000 that I didn't need. That should have been my own money.
Just to feel like you have.
Yeah.
around.
I pretty much paid $100,000 out to employees just so I can feel like have a team when I didn't necessarily need them. And so when we tell you guys this, a lot of people right now too, and especially I know with even our ATM business and people come in, they all join with business partners and I need a business partner. I need a business partner. I need a business partner. But then the business partner, they choose their best friend instead of somebody who can actually provide value to the business.
Yeah, I never started a business just because I'm friends with someone anymore. Yeah. So, but I used to want to do that. I used to be like, yo, we could do this together.
Right.
I used to say, because it's so much easier making a decision in a group, I think that's the
we made money together before we were ever friends.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and I think I see a lot of people like, oh, this is my best friend. We're doing the business together, because they both get excited. They both see an opportunity. They both want to take action, but it might not necessarily be the most healthiest business relationship. There is some people, though, who I see who are very smart, who are becoming, let's say it's like a 17-year-old kid. They're becoming business partners with a 45-year-old person that has a couple $100,000 in the bank that they can leverage for
example, if you guys are following me on Instagram, you guys, I posted a story last night. I ran into one of my ecom students. He's been my student for about 9 months. He came to one of my in-person events 9-10 months ago. He made a lot of sacrifices to get there. His mom was like, you're not going down there. He lived in past San Francisco, and I live in Irvine, California. And he goes, you're not going down there to that event for 3 days to a person's house I don't know. You're 16. What are you trying to do? You're not some entrepreneur. He eventually spent the next 7 days convincing his mom to use the savings she built for him because of his grades. And he came down here. He didn't say a freaking word during the whole event. And, he left the event. I haven't seen him since. But as I ran into him last night, he's designered from head to toe. He's making like $20,000 a month profit at 16 years old. And, on the flip side, don't get upset by that number. He had, his parents that were like backing him. They gave him a little money to play with. And so he had a little bit of leverage that some people don't have. But that does not excuse the results. And he comes to tell me his business partner is a 45-year-old furniture dealer in Northern California. And, that furniture dealer is having dinner with his parents and so many things. And they're making like $20,000 each a month on Amazon and eBay dropshipping furniture. And that's just amazing. Like, that's cool. And so what Josh is saying is, if you understand that a business partner needs to fulfill certain tasks, and that's the only thing they're good for at the time, and they can become amazing friends after that, or they can be amazing friends for that, but you have to qualify them. And this is just a lesson you guys need to know. Back to this one question. Someone's saying, I'm an extrovert, yet I feel like I don't need to have a business partner. That's a mistake some extroverts make. That doesn't not make you an extrovert. And to Carlos, there is no extrovert or introvert. If you take 16 personalities, you're saying that 16 personalities can't account for that. If you actually take the personality test again, Carlos, you'll see that there's a percentage bar on how much you are. So you might be 51% extroverted, which will give you an ENTP instead of an INTP. And you might be 49% introverted. Look at those stats and know kind of where on that scale you are, because you might be 51% observant or whatever the O is. And you might be better at accounting than I'm saying you are by the letter you are. So just understand that, all right, guys? Now, why do you need to know all this? Why do you need to know all these personality types? Why do you need to know who you are? And the easiest way to explain that is going to be that there's certain things in your life that you're just not going to be able to control. You're just not going to be able to control them. And the sooner you realize that, and I want to put a note out there for all you guys that are watching this that are a little bit more advanced. You've already taken this test in the past or whatever. This is I want to get the entirety of the group. For example, we have about 300 members now. And I want to get this entirety of a group on the same playing field before we get into some of the really advanced business tactics.
Right.
So for those of you that are more advanced, just, kind of let this group level up with you. And if you guys are more advanced, help these guys out in the chat. If you guys are in the Telegram, help them out. And I think we can build a really amazing community. Before we jump into the actual curriculum, the most important thing I want to give to you guys is the update about our schedule. I was sitting down last night and I realized, I think one of the most important things of this group will be this weekend live call. And I think this will allow us to mastermind. I think what we're going to do is every Saturday or every other Saturday, depending on the month and how busy Josh and I are, we will do it minimum twice a month. So guys, don't forget this. I hope you guys are with us for 6 to 12 months minimum. We will do this minimum twice a month, hopefully 4 times a month. I want this Saturday to be our mastermind day for the entire group. So I'll put up a topic, but I want everyone from now on, the vibe will be that everyone comes in here with a problem they had this week. And I think what we should do as a group is start masterminding and creating solutions as a group for everyone. So everyone can learn from each other's failures or questions or solutions. So that's going to be a big thing. I'm going to turn Saturdays into a very mastermind effect where you guys feel like, hey, I'm sitting down with mentors and people that are on my same level, a level below me and a level slightly above me, right? And we're going to figure out everything together. Then Josh and I, throughout the next 2 months, will build a 12-month curriculum on business strategies, on businesses, on everything. And that will be the main value of the course. Besides, I think the masterminds are the number one thing. And then everyone in the dropout degree, inner circle, you guys will be doing 4 events in person a year. And I say with the bottom of my heart, I think everyone in this call, everyone in the inner circle should do their best to get to at least 2 or 3 of them. The first one will be in about 2 or 3 months. And we'll probably have that one in LA, the next one in Miami, the next one in Houston, and maybe Vegas, doesn't matter. And that should allow you guys to have the opportunity to get there, to network, to learn, and to mastermind. It's not going to be like a little networking event. What we're going to do this style of training with really boss people. I've been hanging out with the number 1 social media guys almost in the world for the last couple of days.
The Kardashians, social media, a lot of the big influencers you see, pretty much has connections and people working for him that are spending billions and billions of dollars a year on paid advertisements. Anybody knows who this guy is. And so trust us when we say that we're trying to work together to put out quality content with you guys. And we're consuming the most, we're learning the most, we're getting around people, we're doing as much as we can to provide you guys with like top-notch A1 quality content. My bad, I cut you off.
No, you're good. I'm reading the comments.
And I'm going to send out a link right now too, guys, inside of the YouTube. I see some of you guys asking, is there a Telegram? So I'm not sure if all you guys are in the group or not. When you guys first signed up, the links were on the thank you page. And then also all the links are inside the first module of the back office. So I hope you guys went ahead and actually read it and, join the links. I'm going to go ahead and send them as well. There's a Telegram channel. There's a Telegram group chat. And then there's a Facebook Messenger bot. So what you need to do right now, when I send this link, if you're not already inside all 3, first things first is join the Facebook Messenger bot, because whenever we go live, whenever we're doing something, this is where we're going to get a notification saying what we're doing. And second, make sure you join the Telegram, because that's a quick way for us to get in touch with you guys at the top of fingers. So I'll go ahead and drop that comment in a couple minutes.
Okay. So everyone, another note moving forward with these live calls. I think the last one, this one, and then the next one will be a little slow because we got to get everyone on the same page. I want you guys to realize, though, when we drop these live call informations, be prepared to take 2 hours and not feel rushed whatsoever on these calls. And, if you can only make 30 minutes, whatever, but do not come on this call feeling rushed and, try to rush us in the chat or anything, because you have to understand that we're catering to a broad group of people and we're catering to all of you guys. And it's going to be the hardest thing for me is judging everyone's skill levels. And I think I'll be able to do that, but we just got to take the first couple calls slow. So everyone's saying, when will the LA event be? When will the LA event be? I don't have a specific date for you. Honestly, I'm going to have Nick figure that out because I don't do dates or anything. I just get told my schedule pretty much. But it will be in the next couple months.
Let's see if I can get these links. I'll put all the links to guys inside of the video description.
You're going to post in the chat real quick?
Yeah, I'm trying. I don't know if I could post links because it won't let me comment. But I'm going to put it in the video description. So if you guys reload the video, then they'll all be there. And it should be uploaded. Let me see. Reload that feed.
Okay.
Is it there? No. Okay, let me see. All right, anyways, we'll continue. I'll let you know when I know for sure it's done.
All right. You want to start it off, Josh?
Let me finish this real quick.
Everyone also you all should be using your credit if you're over 18. You should be building your credit. You should be developing your credit. I will say this every call, every other call, every 2 times a call. Every person in here should be utilizing their credit. It's been one of the things that has helped me more than anything in business. Thankfully, I learned this skill from such great people and so much research. And, at 23, I have, over $1 million in like cars, credit cards, everything, loans. And that is insanity. I can finance almost any business opportunity I want with the flick of my finger. And the rewards for doing that is insane. For example, my last flights, I haven't paid for a plane ticket in 2 years. So anytime I travel, anytime I do anything, I don't pay for it. It's covered by Amex points. It's covered by Chase travel points. So definitely get on that. We're releasing the credit course for everyone in here, right?
Yeah, giving it to everybody for free.
So everyone that's in the inner circle, Josh and I sold this credit course a year ago for $150 one time. I'm going to unlock it for everyone that's in the inner circle completely free for lifetime. And so Chase, yes, I will be unlocking this credit course. It is simple. It is to the point. It is quick. And you should understand exactly what you need to do moving forward. That will be released to you later this week. I made that decision. And it's just such an important thing. So if you guys are like, how am I going to afford to go to these meetups? I don't even know what to do. If you guys are doing any type of businesses, especially e-commerce or anything where you're buying product or and reselling it or anything in that industry, use credit because it allows you to just stack up rewards. Did you just send the links?
Yep.
So in the chat right now for everyone on the computer, if you guys look at the chat, I think it's on the right side of your screen, and it should say Josh posted something, and it's all the links. So
it should be inside the actual description too now.
It's only popping the first link up. Let me check the inside the description. Okay, yeah. So if you guys refresh this live feed, right?
Yeah.
So refresh the live feed. In the description of this video, you guys will have all the links. So get into everything. Get into the Facebook Messenger bot. We only send out updates when it's important. So, there's no reason for you not to be in it. There's no reason to be like, oh, I don't want them to bombard my phone or anything. You just got to understand that when we send out these links, it's either new trainings updated or we're going live or it's going to be an event information. That's it. That is it, period, nada. You got to be in the Telegram groups. The Telegram channel is important because what it does is if the group's annoying you and you get like if you can't handle 3,000 notifications a day and you mute the group, the group's a great resource. So don't not join it because there's so many people. But if it's, too much for you to handle, it's too distracting, mute it, but do not mute the channel on Telegram. Join the Messenger bot. Is there another one or is that it?
Facebook group. And then
Facebook group.
And obviously you guys want to make sure you're following the Instagram page. I get DMs every single day that say, hey, I haven't got accepted to the Instagram page yet, which is at the Dropout Degree. It says, like, when you join, says it inside the back office, says it everywhere. When you request to follow the page, you need to send proof that you're actually inside the program, because since it's the name of the podcast as well, people always are trying to follow the page for free. And obviously, we don't want to give people the same content we give you guys.
It's not even that. It's just the focus. I don't want to like focus.
Random people who are not involved.
Yeah, it's not fair.
So you guys, if you haven't got accepted to the Facebook page yet, send proof, a screenshot, a picture of your name, getting your confirmation login or whatever to the Instagram page, DM a picture, and you'll be accepted like pretty much within 24 hours.
So the purpose of this call is going to be for the people that are in businesses already and the people that aren't in businesses. What I want you to do is, if you currently have a business not generating any money and you're not making any money, I want you to type a 1. If you're currently, or if you're making like less than like $3,000 a month, how about that? If you're not making any money or you're making less than $3,000 a month, type 1. If you are making more than $3,000 a month in one business, in one specific business, not in general, not from a job and a business, if you're making over $3,000 a month in a business, type 2, please. Okay, so every 2 in here, I want you to look at the chat and I want you to see the current state. So if you're a 2 in here, every information I give you today should be based on you understanding how to build a successful team in business, which is going to be fucking huge. Is going to be what separates 6 figures from 7 figures, this skill. Building a team is essential. You can't do product development, sales, ads, scaling, customer service on your own. It is impossible to do at a 6-figure business profit. It's just so difficult. It is so difficult. So for every 2 in here, understand that today's call is going to be you building a team. Every one, today's call is going to be based on, for the next hour and a half, is going to be based on you finding either a business model that fits who you are, or yeah, get ready, Josh. We're about to get into it. This was just a warm up. We're just talking right now. And for a business model that fits who you are, and or how to use your personality to an advantage in your current business. Now, for everyone, so the 2s can sit back, chill for a second. For everyone, I want you to let me know if you're actually making money in a business, but it's less than $3,000, put a 1. If you're not making any money and you have no idea what business you should be in, and you can't figure out how to make money online, put a 2, please. And just be honest. Nobody in here cares if you're a 2, because we were all there. There was a point when I quit MLM, and I'm not going to hold anything back from this group. I despise MLM with all of my heart. And that's because I think it's a fraudulent industry. And I think if I could go back, I wouldn't change being in it, because I learned a lot of important extroverted lessons in it. That was the biggest thing for me. I just don't actually appreciate the business model anymore. But I was, after my MLM company went out of business, and I was like, yo, dude, I'm 19 years old. I just lost a $70,000 a year income overnight. I'm broke. I have $5,000 monthly expenses. I don't know what the hell to do. I'm $7,000 in credit card debt. My car payment's $700. I don't know what I'm going to do in my life. I was there. Literally, I was there. So there's a lot of 2s. There's a lot of 2s. And there's a lot of 1s. So let's start off with the last 2, which was, I don't know what business I should be in. We can start off by saying, if you're an introverted person, you probably have better ability to sit on the computer for 10 hours a day and find a business you can make work. I find introverted people are good at logistic things, and they have a better ability to be. That doesn't mean extroverted people can't. I think if you're an introverted person, you just have the ability to have a sustained focus without needing to go party, hang out with a friend. And this is something I think extroverted people fail to get away from. Noted, if you guys did take the test and you did focus, you'll see that you're not fully one of the two. You're not 100% extroverted, you're not 100% introverted. So just understand there's a balance, right? It doesn't mean if you're an introverted person, I'm an INTP, but I'm like 70% introverted. That means 30% of the time I will need to hang out with people and I will get lonely, but that just means 70% of the time I won't, which is why I told you 3 out of 7 days. I was able to, thanks to the fact that I don't need to hang out with anyone. I don't need to do anything. I can sit in my room or sit on a desk and grind 10 hours, or I could sit and read a book for 4 hours straight because I don't have a need for person-to-person distractions. I found that I got really good at dropshipping. That was something that really helped me exceed in that. And I had friends that are very extroverted people, very people, and they did not succeed well in that. They just couldn't do it. They just could not put the 3 to 5 hours a day that's required to do it. Doesn't mean you can't, but most I found do struggle with that. You know, you look at that and you say, okay, so I'm an introvert person. I think I might be better off doing an online business that I can work on my alone time. If you're a very, very extroverted person, you might be better off not even starting a business. You're not making any money right now. You might be better off getting into something similar to direct sales, right? Or something where you can actually put your people skills to work, where you can gain energy and you can work off of the fact that it just gives you more energy.
And I think personally, and my own personal opinion, a lot of you guys want to be entrepreneurs. You want to get to that next level. You want to build a business. You want to make money, which is awesome, right? But again, you guys have to realize the only way you're successful as a business is if you make money. How do you make money? You sell products. Sell products to who? You sell products to people. How do you do that? You have to learn how to sell. So in my own advice, my own personal opinion, what I would do if I had to start back over, I would start with sales.
Or consulting.
Yeah, consulting, but something where I have to interact with people.
Problem with consulting is everyone says consulting is such an easy business model. You know, you see those ads. I think it's that dude that's always with Ty.
Right.
Dude, he's like, I made all this money with no business consulting. What the fuck are you going to consult on if you're not good at anything business-wise?
Right.
So that's the first thing. I think what you're saying is definitely true. And learning how to make sales is easier than becoming an expert. Learning how to sell people is easier than becoming an expert in something overnight.
Right. And so I think that's and not only that, but in sales, you're going to learn, people skills. You're going to learn how different people react based off of their personality types, which is another reason why it's important to know these personality types, because different personality types have different type of buying points, trigger points. They might be more logical buyers. They might be more emotional buyers. So as you become a salesperson and you learn to read people, you're going to learn what triggers certain people to buy. So obviously, as a business owner, you want people to buy your products. So if you guys can become an expert at sales, at least just learn the foundations and the basics and get, decently good at it, then, even if you just do it for 3 months, 6 months, a year, right? And you start getting to the point where, hey, I can sell anything to anybody, and you're an extrovert and you know that you're also very creative, you're very innovative, you know that you know what it takes to, you have ideas, you want to be a business owner, you have all this, going on, but you just need to put it somewhere, learn sales, and take those skills and transfer that into your business, so you will make a lot more money. One of my first, entrepreneurship things, it was sales. I was personally selling things since I was super young. And then as I got older, as I got like 17, 18, I started reading books on sales, started listening to podcasts on sales, started buying, sales training, and, listening to people that knew what they're talking about when it came to sales, found mentors that, taught me about sales. And once I learned that, now today it's a lot easier for me to make money. And if I never learned those sales, I don't think I would make a fraction of what I make today. And as well as it helped me get out of my comfort zone, it helped me learn a lot of new traits, a lot of new abilities, meet people, and you got to learn it, right? And like Jeff was saying, if you're an introvert,
I just had better luck as a kid when I didn't want to talk to people.
Right.
I was like scared to sell people. I just had better luck learning how to sell things online. And that's where you and I have a different path.
Right.
Where I just learned how to sell things better online.
Right.
And the paths kind of merge when it comes to social media, because I don't have to go actually talk to anyone to make sales. Right. While being an extrovert, it's still applicable. That's why social media is beautiful. That's why building a personal brand is so important. So for everyone that was a 2 in the beginning, there's like 10 of you. For everyone that was a 2, something you will want to look forward to in the future is branding and social media marketing and all of those things. It's going to be something that we're going to go over, we're going to discuss, and I think you really will be able to change your life if you already have an income. And for those of you that don't, you'll be able to work up to that.
Right.
So now most of you guys are saying, I don't have a business right now, and I have, I don't know what I'm doing. And this is going to be something where you need to sit down with. And just because you got your personality and you saw strengths and weaknesses doesn't mean that's all of them. It doesn't mean that's all the strengths and weaknesses that you're going to be able to go over. It doesn't mean that you don't have other ones. So what you're going to spend the time doing after this call for everyone, even the people that are succeeding, I want you to almost anally self-advise yourself even on a notepad on the things you think you're actually very, very good at. And, you know, for me, I'm really good at inspiring a team. I'm really good at talking to people now, but that's a learned skill. That's not something I was naturally good at. I'm really good at, you know, going after what I want. These are very vague. And you can go all the way down to the specifics where it's like things that are like, I'm very, very good at typing on the computer. Write down every skill you think you are just slightly better than average at. And I want you to write down all your weaknesses. Do you get unmotivated? Do you struggle? Because I'm going to have you guys turn these in. Because the reason I said this is a mastermind is because I want you guys to feel like you get to develop each call and you get to see things you didn't see. And that's why, so what we're going to do is after we get off this call tonight, I hope everyone on here, we're going to send a form submit link. And I want you guys to take a good 30 minutes and write down all your strengths and weaknesses and think about businesses that you could fit into. So for example, I want someone in here that has no business right now, that does not know what they want to do with their lives and wants to become successful. I want you to type in 2 of your strengths and 2 of your weaknesses. And I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes and I'm going to show you exactly why you need to be doing this and why you need to be revising yourself on a weekly, monthly basis to get to that next level. Because if you don't look at yourself objectively, it will really hold you back. For those that want to get into sales, I think buying sales training is amazing. And if you really want to spend extra time besides this course developing, Cardone has sales training that's great. It's very overpriced though. So if you're going to buy Cardone training, I would wait till a sale. I would wait for him to drop a crazy sale. He does that like 5 times a year.
Personally, I read Sell or Be Sold, the book, and I listened to the audiobook, and that was all I needed.
Bro, you could listen to podcasts on sales. You guys don't need to buy courses for sales. I mean, there's so much information out there, like especially with sales. Now, Grant, I've seen his programs,
right?
And you know he'll give some very specific things like every objection and how to counter it, but it's specifically for car sales. And I went through some of that stuff when I was doing like MLM, network marketing, and I definitely become a better salesman. But it was stuff that like, hey, this is just very tactical stuff and not the actual mindset behind selling. Because for me, selling is about no longer in the world is about me making you want to buy something. You guys got to understand that sales is now about you already wanting to buy something and me being the one you find and me being the one that has that service and provides that value and me already being in your life before you needed that. And I think that's where sales are heading in the future. This is a big thing. And if you're in a business that's where you're convincing people to make purchases, which isn't a bad thing. I can give you a perfect example. In sales, there's car salesmen that where you walk on the lot, they follow you for 30 minutes talking about like, hey, you know, they keep bugging you and you feel like you're being pestered and you don't want to go to a car dealership. And then there's people like my buddy Peter, who I'm actually going to have on this call probably in a month or two. And he's doing about $100,000 a month profit selling cars right now. So back to this whole personality thing. I have friends that didn't make the car dealership.
Right.
But they are still.
He's an entrepreneur. But
he's an entrepreneur. And that's completely fine. If you guys look at that and say, okay, dude, this guy's making $100,000 a month selling used exotics. And the worst part is he's not doing any cold calling, maybe a little bit in his free time. The majority of his time is spent building relationships with people and networking. And then what happens is he's such a genuine dude and he's such a good dude at getting his job done. For example, getting people in cars, no matter the issue, you know, people have bad credit. They got to have more banks and they got to have this. And Peter is so good at that people, friends of friends, if I buy a car, if someone comes to me and they say, I want to buy a car, I send them to Peter right away. And I'm like, yo, dude, take care of this guy. Cause he takes care of me. He takes care of all my friends.
Probably sound like 7 people there just in the last few months.
Yeah. And I think this month he sold like 40 cars and you got to understand the average commission on a $200,000, $100,000 car is pretty solid. It's not 10 grand, but it's 2 or 3 grand if you sold 100 cars.
Yeah.
I think you did 70 cars 1 month. So if you understand that, you don't have to be a revolutionary businessman. You don't have to build a dropshipping business. You just got to know what you're good at. And once you figure out what you're good at, he's like, the best way I can describe him is he's an amazing dude, but he's a little weasel in a good way. And he makes me feel like I just like him so much.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's just in and out of friends and everyone likes him. And if you're that type of person, a relationship business for sales is so solid.
Right.
Like it is so solid. And the people that aren't good at sales are people that I think take Cardone's approach now. And that's very salesy. And I think it's a dying approach, but that's my opinion. Some people might disagree.
Right. And it's very funny too, because you look at somebody like Peter who's crushing it, right? Doing high 5 figures, 6 figures a month selling cars. And this is purely like a relationship-based sales business, what Jeff is saying. So word of mouth, referrals, I helped this guy hook this guy up. So this guy told him, this guy came in, bought a car for me. This guy told her, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He hasn't even harnessed like 1% of what social media can do. So, and he's just starting to get involved. He's creating content, but this is also important if you guys want to build, because he's very, social, very, he puts himself out there. On a social media side of it though, creating content, he's not the most confident in front of camera just yet, but it's a skill that he's developing, that he's working on. And I think it's crazy because I think once he masters the social media part, once he gets more comfortable, putting out content, talking in front of the camera, and, putting himself out there for the world to see, what if he just got 10 leads a day from social media and 1 or 2 of those become a sale? He's making now an extra $4,000 to $6,000 a day, which is insane. So for those of you guys too who are watching this right now, and even if you're not like Peter and you're able to go talk to people and able to build relationships, what if you were able to sell cars, but you're getting your leads on social media? You're doing what me and Jeff are doing with our personal brand, and you're driving leads. And then, maybe you're not as extrovert, you can't go out and talk to random people, but you meet the lead, you talk to the lead over social media, and then you have them come in, and now it's already some sort of a connection built, and then you can go ahead and sell them that car. So there's multiple ways to make money, whether you're an introvert, you're an extrovert, you're an entrepreneur, doesn't really matter. There's multiple ways to make money. You just have to figure out what fits for you and what you can fit into that will make you the most comfortable and give you the ability to excel at the highest rate possible and the fastest speed possible.
And, I think a lot of you guys are in a situation where it's like, dude, I just don't know what I want to do. Or what you're doing is you're doing something and you don't know if it's going to work out. And there comes a time where you realize, hey, I don't have to be an entrepreneur. I don't have to do this on my own. And you guys can get good at skills that people need to be a part of their businesses. I tell people this all the time. Dude, I don't feel like I'm cut out to be an entrepreneur. I'm like, be a damn intrapreneur. And what I mean is, you know how many people are running that are our age, or, if some of you guys are older, that are our age running businesses. For example, me 2 years ago, and I had nobody to keep me organized. I had nobody to do my accounting besides I had a CPA, but he wasn't doing day-to-day accounting. I had nobody to handle customers, all of these things. Most of my employees before I started really building a team were VAs. They were outsourced to China. They were doing tasks a monkey could do if trained correctly on the computer, maybe somewhere a little bit more difficult. And until I didn't see real growth in my life and my businesses until I, got a team. What does that mean? That doesn't mean you guys need to go find a team right now. That means you guys could acquire the skills to have someone bring you part of their team. For example, Steven, what was your, so guys, I'm going to introduce you to, I'll have him say hi in a second. I'm going to introduce you guys my video guy, Steven. He's a great dude. And he's kind of doing his own entrepreneur thing. He's got his own video production company, but he's more of an entrepreneur. For example, his skill set is working within businesses. And what he does is he provides a service that most people can't find or can't do. And he's a solid people person. He's a feeling person. What does that mean? That means that he very genuinely understands my vision and appreciates my vision. He's not thinking, okay, let me get paid today. He's not, and this is a good skill for a cameraman and in a videography company, is understanding what the client wants and understanding their vision and not logically thinking it over. Because a client, when it comes to videography, has a vision. They have their most of the time, most clients are their babies. Their companies are their babies, and a video is representing their child, and so a video guy has to understand that. And so there's so many different routes you guys can take. If you're a very creative person, you could go into videography, and it's so cheap now. It is so cheap to invest into a drone in a basic DSLR and learn editing. And you guys could be making with a videography company, content creation company, you guys could easily be bringing in $3,000 to $10,000 a month with a couple clients, right? A couple clients that need social media or digital marketing.
You can start with renting
for sure.
equipment.
The funniest thing is, you could definitely start with renting equipment. The problem with that though, is it gets expensive to learn with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Obviously make the investment. That's why too, once you guys get the credit training from us, that's going to help you guys a lot with your business ventures, getting startup capital, funding, etc.
And this is just for me to try to give you guys perspective on a lot of things because, Steven is an entrepreneur in his own sense. Definitely a business owner. I think the word entrepreneur is thrown around way too much. And it's because it's easy. I think it's just so cliche now.
Right.
I think real entrepreneurs are Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and those type of people that built Tesla, Amazon, Walmart, these revolutionary companies that have revolutionized the way we carry our lives. And I think people like you and myself are just successful young business owners. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with that. I didn't revolutionize the knowledge industry. I didn't revolutionize anything. And so am I really an entrepreneur? I guess I started my own business, but I don't know if that makes me an entrepreneur. And so it's okay if you guys want to be a business owner that does business to business or service to service, or you just want to partner up with someone that's already making money and you can help them make more money. For example, some of you guys are like, oh, I'm a very analytical person. I'm looking at these strengths, analyzing and being persistent, right? Your weakness is getting sidetracked, trying new ideas and wanting to make everyone happy. If you're good at analyzing and being persistent, maybe you should learn Facebook ads. You know how many people need good Facebook ads, people? Even I, up until a month ago, was searching for a Facebook ads guy. And not just Facebook ads, but ads in general. Right. Because how do most businesses create money? They have to get new people to buy products. All making money is providing a service or a product that someone with the money wants, that's willing to give it to you, and you get to take a little bit of the commission, right? That's all business is. And realizing that you need to provide a service, create a product that people are willing to pay for, and understanding money is infinite, it's not that hard to make six figures once you have that common understanding. VA does mean virtual assistant, correct? So guys, that's a thought process. Christian says, that's my business, Facebook ads and ClickFunnels. The thing is right now, when it comes to the way you're marketing it, you have to be good at getting your name out there. And that's a skill. And you're going to have to get good at that. Or you can find someone specifically, like follow some random entrepreneur that's, doing something and you feel like you can do it better, provide a free service. And that will allow you to say, hey, let me at least try to increase your conversions on your ClickFunnels page. Someone making, 10 grand a month. If you get them as a client and you spend 3 hours making their ClickFunnels page and they're like, okay, I want you on my team because you just helped me make $2,000 more per month. You now have a client paying you $1,000 a month, and then you can eventually outsource that. That is a business. That is something that is tangible. And you have to just know these things. So for the people that are already have businesses, and everyone else in this call, specifically to the people that have businesses that are doing well, and everyone else in this call, I want you guys to listen because this is future information. Building a team is going to require you to be out there, number one, right? You can't just hire anyone, right? You had this issue, right, Josh? Like where you were saying, hey, you're motivated, you be my partner.
Right.
Instead of qualifying people for their skills. And I think building a team is going to take a lot more discipline. So I'm going to let you jump into this because you just went through this.
Right.
In the last year and a half, you went from having a team of like 10 people to going all the way downsizing. Guys, understand this. He had a team of 10 people. He's making decent money. He scaled up. He had a team. And then almost overnight, his organization went from 10 people, all kind of fighting for the same goal, but they weren't the best people he chose, to a solopreneur where he went to the bottom. Where what I mean by that is his time leverage went to 1. So as you're building a business, right? We talked about leverage on the last call. And the reason this is so important is because time leverage is also something. So Josh talked about using tools to succeed in business. For example, why are you going to spend 10 hours developing a funnel when you could use ClickFunnels and develop it in 30 minutes? That's a tool that saves you time. Right. Now, understanding time leverage. If you are a business owner and you work and you're the only one that works on your business, the maximum you're going to give is 16 to 18 hours a day, if at the absolute optimal rate. That's you sleeping 6 hours a night. Some people, I guess if you're just an insane person with an insane drive, maybe you do sleep 4 hours a night. But on the realistic side, the max you're going to give is 16 hours a day to your business. But if you scale to 3 people, that 16 hours now goes to, what is that? 32 plus 16, 48. That's 48 hours a day. Your business is now growing and working. As you grow a team to 10 people, you now are working 160 hours a day. If they were working at optimal speed, everyone was on the same goal. And this is why building a team is so important. So you guys want to go from 6 figures to 7 figures. That is a 10 times jump, which means with the same amount of effort, you're probably the same amount of time in, you're probably not going to get to that point. I had to realize this. I was yo, I'm making good money by myself. And then I was like, but I can't seem to break this weird threshold of pushing past 7 figures. I was making like $100,000 a month. And I was like, I can't push past this threshold for like 6 months. So then I started bringing teammates in. I started having someone handle accounting, handle paying me out even from my own business. I had someone handling marketing strategies and email strategies and customer acquisition and customer service and all of these things. What did that allow me to do? It allowed me to do what I'm good at, and that's game planning and everything else. So all of the things that took a lot of my time disappeared, and I now spent 12 hours a day focusing on scaling and the issues that would bug me. For example, if I knew I had to do an hour of accounting, I knew, oh, what do I have to do today? I have to get my business to the one goal, the one track mind I have to $150,000, $200,000 a month.
Right, real quick, I want to give a quick tip of advice for those of you guys. How do I find a business partner? How do I know if they're the right business partner? Obviously, we talked about personality types.
Before you go ahead, Steven asked, how did that all go over, Josh? Did you have to fire your whole team?
Right, yeah. So I'm gonna go over that right now. So here's the situation, guys. So when you're looking for a business partner, when you're looking for this, obviously we know that there's different type of personality types. You probably want to find somebody that complements whatever you are. So for example, what Jeff said, if you're not good at something, your business partner should be good at that. If you want to start a business, for example, for people that do the ATM business, if you don't have that much money, find somebody that does, right? So find somebody that can complement you. That way you can grow, right? Somebody who has the opposite of what you don't have, so that way you can grow. But I also look for example, like Jeff said, I just found people that were motivated, right? I found people that, wanted to make money. But what I also realized, so it's important to find people that have skills, right? Especially more importantly, if they're a freelancer. But if you're looking for a partner, there's a couple other things that I would, really take in consideration. Make sure you guys take notes on this.
And understand that you don't look for a partner that's Josh and I. Like, we're not the definition of a business partner. We're the definition of running partners. And there's a big difference. A lot of you guys look for running partners when you should be, there's a time and place for a running partner. And what I mean, there's certain times in your life where you'll align with someone that comes out of the fucking blue, that has the same vision as you, the same drive as you, the same understanding as you, and a generalized philosophy about how to go about living and going towards those things. And at that time, you combine and make a running partner for as long as that relationship lasts. Sometimes it's a year, sometimes it can be 20 years. You look at people that are really running partners, Warren Buffett and his buddy, I don't know, they're both it's filthy rich. And they've been together for like 40, 50, 60 years. Right. And so understand that Josh and I are not the definition of a business partner. We're the definition of running partners. This is a big thing. You will need running partners to succeed. And why I say that is because 2 heads on a common goal with the same ideas of moving forward is so much more powerful than one.
Right, 100%.
But a business partner is not that.
Right. So what I was going into, guys, is that, for example, you have a business partner. Let's say you want a business partner who is super good at sales, right? You have a business with a product, with a service. Let's say it's a social media marketing agency. All right, I'm going to find a business partner who's super, super good at sales, right? Somebody that can close everybody, somebody that can get deals done, somebody that can land us high-paying commissions, right? That's awesome. But at the same time, you need to find somebody where you're looking at their ethics and you're looking at what drives them. And I'm not talking about like what motivates them. I'm not talking about necessarily the why, but you need to look at these type of things because let's say, you have to look at, and this is why the personality test is super important because some people are very egotistical. They have huge egos, right? They care what people think about them. Some people are very selfish, right? They want as much as they can. They do whatever they can to, make sure they're good at the end of the day before the vision is good. So these problems, somebody could be the most amazing and have the best skills in the world. But if somebody's very egotistical, this means that outside influences are going to influence how they make their decisions, which means that the decision making is going to be flawed, which might cause issues in your business. If somebody's very selfish it means that they might start doing things behind your back. They might start doing things that don't benefit you or your business and just only benefit themselves, right? So these are like I
For
see
example,
anybody with these traits.
F people have a hard time screwing you over.
Right.
It's the truth. Feeling people have a much harder time screwing you over because they feel bad about it.
Yeah.
And I think
they care about other people too.
Intuitive people, not saying they won't feel bad, but on a general side, I think the more intuitive you are and the more logical you are, the less you feel bad about making a decision that you're like, if, for example, if I wanted to end this relationship with you,
right?
I think we're both on the same we're on the exact same scale when it comes to like feeling and intuitive, where we just we still genuinely care about like how they're going to feel, but we're also not willing to sacrifice our own future just because of someone else's happiness.
Right.
But feeling people will have a harder time, leaving an organization because they want to, do this. So if you're really intuitive, you probably won't hesitate to, bounce from an opportunity, even if it hurts your employer. And feeling people tend to do the opposite. They just will stay and they'll stay loyal and then they'll really hope that it works out.
Right. So what you have to do as a business owner or somebody looking for a business partner is figure out who do you want to work with? Do you want to work with somebody who's a feeling person because they're going to be loyal to you? Or are you that, intuitive person? So you have to figure that out because, to answer somebody's question, that I have to, stop working with the team that I hired. I had to stop working with them because egos came into play, right? And especially too, when you are the actual entrepreneur, like the CEO, the person who calls the shots. If somebody else, doesn't want to accept their role as an entrepreneur and they want to be that entrepreneur, they want to be that person that calls the shots when that is not their responsibility, the ego comes out. So what happens is, I'm teaching people certain things. They're doing what I need them to do as employees. And then they want to start to become me, right? Ego comes out to play. They stop doing what they need to do.
That's usually NTPs.
Right. That's somebody like myself. That's why I have to call shots. And so that starts to happen. People, they stop listening and it creates dysfunction. Or you get people who are selfish and you need them to do something. You need to do this, you need to do that. And they're like, I don't want to play like together. So those are not like, if you see a business partner with those traits, I personally would stay far away because it's going to cause dysfunction. I don't care if it's your best friend. I don't care if it's, your family member. I don't care if it's somebody you know for so long or they're so highly qualified. Those ventures, not just one, probably over 3 or 4 different business ventures in the last 2.5 years. So understand that going to a role, and also understand that, when you're looking for a business partner, there's certain skills that can be developed. So obviously somebody's super good at something, awesome. But there's other things that can be learned, right? Because skills are just something that you learn over a trained amount of time. So I'd rather, like if I had to come down to 2 choices, choosing somebody based off, and this is for a long-term business relationship. If I'm freelancing somebody and I'm paying them as an employee, this is different.
You want them more like us if they're a freelancer.
And I'm paying somebody like for their time, then I'd rather have them be the boss and call their own shots as long as they're doing things that I tell them to do because that's what's going to get them paid. But if I'm actually looking to go, 50-50 with somebody, like let's work, let's be business partners, let's do this for 5-10 years. I'd personally, if it came down to it, would rather choose somebody with less skill, but their head is right where it needs to be compared to somebody who is highly qualified and is going to fuck me over in the long run. Yeah,
because loyalty is a big thing in business. And, it's hard for people to stay loyal, I think. I think especially NTPs really struggle with staying loyal. I really do. I think, like, for example, if I was to be mentored by someone and I was a nobody when I was 18 and, Warren Buffett took me in to mentor me and he paid me a well-paying salary, I'd still go out for better. I would still leave eventually with my skill sets that I've learned. Because in my mind, just because someone taught me and mentored me for some skills doesn't mean I owe them my life.
Right.
But from a $10 million company to a $50 million company together, and hopefully you'll increase my pay. And if you don't, then I leave. That's how most some people will choose. So guys, when it comes to building a team, that's just super important. And if you don't learn that, there's literally it's just going to stalemate your business growth. And that's something you have to understand. That's something you need to know because you might learn how to make $5,000 to $30,000 a month as a solopreneur. Until you learn how to outsource the problems and find solutions with outsourcing, for example, hiring people to handle those problems, it'll be hard to scale for a long time. And I've seen a lot of my e-com students personally, I didn't want to teach VAs because some people want to outsource early on. They're making $3,000 a month and they want to hire people or bring partners on. And that's not the way to do it. I know people making $5,000 a month and they have teams of 10 people. I'm like, so where's you're paying out every dollar the business is getting? And it's insane to me because like, I think one of the people in the chat said, I have a SMMA business or something, and I have a team of 6 and I'm making $3,000 a month. I'm like, what the hell do you mean you have a team of 6? Like, how much are you paying these guys? And where is your money to keep investing back into your business? To start a business, you guys need money. And, it's not some secret where you have to keep reinvesting. What I mean by that is if you're in a business with inventory, you have to keep money flowing. If you're in an ATM business, you have to keep money in the machines and you have to keep buying new machines. So there is a certain time to build a team and there's a certain time for you to stay solo as hell. And I just want to make sure everyone understands that. So again, everyone in the chat, let me know if you understand that. And also if you have any questions about any of this. I'm sure you guys do. Anybody have any questions while we're on this topic?
Questions. Go ahead and comment questions.
If you guys have questions, for example, training VAs, that's something that I cannot answer in 1 hour. And, that's something that like training employees is going to be something we're going to have to make an entire video of, because there's no way for me to be like, yeah, man, this is how you're going to do it.
Right.
Because training someone to learn skills and, treat your business like it's like it's their business too. Like this is the problem when you start building a team is you have to have everyone on the same level. Like if Steven doesn't treat my business, he's behind a camera, but he doesn't treat my business with the respect I treat my business, it's not going to work out. And that's life. So, some of these VAs and some of these employees you guys might hire down the road might not just care about your business. It might be sloppy, might be lazy, but they still get the bare minimum done. You got to learn how to handle that. I don't get how to build a team with a Shopify store. I'm honestly not a Shopify expert. Josh is probably better understanding with that. I can tell you how to build a team with the eBay store, but.
Right. I mean, you guys, when you're asking yourself about how to build a team with a Shopify store, sometimes you guys are asking yourself how to do things that you don't need a team for. I know tons of people that are making multiple 7 figures in Shopify and they're just doing it by themselves. And so obviously you can have a partner with Shopify, but the only benefit I would see of it is if you need the money to run ads. Otherwise, I see it as technically a loss, because if I could spend $10,000 personally and make $100,000, why would I want a business partner and then have to give away $50,000 of that when I have the same exact skills? So the only reason I would build a team is if, one, you have no idea what you're doing and somebody else does, right? Which in your case, it benefits you, but it doesn't only benefit the other person. 2, you need somebody that can help fund the store and ads, credit cards, capital, etc. But if you really want to, I don't know where your current Shopify store is, but I'm telling you right now, if you're not doing 40, 50, 60, 70, 100K plus, you probably don't need a team. And if you do want to scale your Shopify store, you should be hiring a team, like an ad specialist, to build your store for you. You should be getting consultants. You should be getting people to help you and give you information, give you feedback. But you don't like what we said earlier. Don't just be bringing in business partners just because. It doesn't make sense.
Okay, so to answer some of you guys' questions, what is the difference between a running partner and a business partner? A business partner, that's someone that like they're partners on your business. And for example, Josh and I are partnered on this inner circle, but we both started it and founded it. We're kind of co-founders, not business partners. I guess you could say, and by definition, we run a business together. But I think the better way to explain it would be Josh and I launch businesses together and we stay focused on the same path and we have the same goals. And so what that means is when I look at a business, I can say, Josh, what do you see? And when I look at a model or an opportunity, or Josh looks at a video or a funnel or something and he goes, okay, well, I see this, 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 this. And I'm like, okay, I see that too. And I see these options, and him and I are on like the same frequency. My other business partners,
we don't complement each other. supplement each other.
Yeah. It's like my other business partners are more like, I'm like, here's what I see and here's what I need you to do. And let me know what you think. Josh and I kind of just bounce ideas off each other. So a running partner is someone you're going to launch businesses with and you're going to move forward with. And a business partner is someone that's going to handle and be a partner for you and support you. There's no perfect way to explain it. And there's no way to make this relationship sound 100% beautiful. But there is a significant difference. And I will think of a way to explain it to you guys in the most layman terms possible. I learn and have a really hard time going out and doing things. Christian, what's your personality? Send it in the chat. I could probably break it down pretty easy on what you need to do. Would you consider outsourcing the same as having a team? No, that's having employees. A team is a bunch of people that like sit down at a table. You know, you don't sit down with an employee and tell them the future of the business. Like you don't just sit there and be like, okay, today what we're gonna do is I know you fulfill my orders for my Shopify business, right? I know you're my order fulfiller. You drop ship or whatever. You're going to put the order list in and send the payment or whatever, so I don't have to do it. You don't sit down with them tomorrow and be like, so this is how we're going to make another $100,000. You don't tell an employee how much you're making because they're paid hourly and not profited. So you don't want to upset an employee by them ever knowing how much you make. So outsourcing, no. So having employees is not the same as having a team. A team is people with a group of people with the same goal and same honesty, and they all have honestly, the best way to explain a team would be everyone benefits from the company succeeding more, and they get bonuses or they have a percentage of the business, and that creates a team.
So Brad says, anytime I'm working on a business, I feel like I have to be completely closed off from everyone to focus, like dead ass. My girlfriend is pouting in the same room because I'm trying to focus on this. Plus people saying same. Look, man, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't know how old you guys are. I'm assuming a lot of you guys are probably under 25. But ask yourself this, you guys saying, is that bad? Is this? Number one, you got to boss the fuck up and realize that if you want to win in life, it's all on you. It's not on your girlfriend. It's not on your parents. It's all on you. So anybody else's opinion, anybody else's feelings, any of the other shit does not matter. Whenever I'm dating somebody or I'm talking to somebody or I'm with somebody, that same shit happens to me. It's no different. Me and you the same. It's just I don't care. I cut it off and I get shit done, and that's why I'm successful. And I'll tell you what, the girls aren't complaining when I'm traveling around the world with them and buying them flights, right? So, you have to ask yourself where you want to be and where you currently are and what's going to be that trade-off. And, I'll be dead honest with you guys. You're under 25. You're even younger. You're saying you're 18, bro. 90% chance you're not going to be with your girlfriend for the rest of your life. I'm sorry, but that's true. 90% chance you're not going to be.
That's overextending it. It's like 99.9% chance you're not going to be the same person. You could be like a high school sweetheart or the one relationship in your life that works out. It's possible. But don't plan your life around
your girlfriend.
Anomaly.
Because, and I'll tell you what, because you're going to feel like shit and you're going to regret it when 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you're not where you're at because you're like, fuck, instead of working on my dreams, instead of grinding, instead of hustling, I was, trying to spend time with my girlfriend and make her happy and do this, putting my time and not really fully dedicate my time to them. If I'm not where I'm at and I know that I can't really actually commit. So, you got to tell yourself that. And I'm going to tell you what, a little secret between me and you, it's a lot more fun being rich with a girlfriend. You'll probably find a lot more hotter chicks too. Just saying. Even you girls want to find better dudes. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, like I just see so many people like let their lives go on hold because their girlfriend or relationship, and I feel bad saying it. Like I'm like, dude, like you're in a toxic relationship, and if you're in a toxic relationship with a business partner, what are you gonna do? You're not gonna stay there. You're gonna end it. You're gonna say, hey, let me buy you out of this business. Like when it's not working out, like you and I fight all the time. Like it's obviously not working out. And if a chick doesn't understand that your dreams should come first in a life that you get one fucking shot at, it's time to make the adult decision here. It's crazy to me when parents I think it's stupid where when people have a kid together, even though it's a toxic relationship, they don't really want to be with each other, but they say, I'm going to try to work it out for the kid. Dude, you make it harder on the kid instead of just teaching it reality by putting it in the environment of a toxic relationship where you guys are fighting constantly and you don't really want to be with each other. So you're not being the best versions of yourself towards your kid. And that's not teaching your kids that's not teaching children the right steps to take as a person. As a person, you should be doing what's best for the kid. And if what's best for the kid is you being the best parent possible, and you will do that outside of a toxic relationship for sure,
right,
then you should not be together trying to figure out a kid. it's more toxic than anything. I think if you guys are in relationships where you feel like someone's holding you back, have a talk with them. That's the first thing, and say, hey, dude, this is my dreams. How you feel right now is not relevant. You know, if I succeed, if I make these happen, and when I succeed and when I make this happen, we're going to be living a different life. And if she can't understand that, the biggest problem with relationships is I feel like one person always outgrows the other person. So, you know, if you're in a relationship and you're in love and you're doing all these things, and then the next thing you know, you find businesses and you find the fact that you could have a completely different life and you fall in love with being an entrepreneur and a business owner and providing value to the marketplace. And you look at your chick and she's doing the same thing with the same people, smoking the same weed, hanging out with the same girlfriends, whatever it is, it's time to cut it off, because what happens is who you spend time with is who you become. And if you spend all your time with a stagnant person in life, it's going to be hard to be successful. And I'm going to tell you this, on the flip side, my dad did tell me something that really changed my life. He said, or at least not changed my life, but opened my mind, is he's like, dude, you can make enough money for two people.
Right.
And because I was in this toxic relationship when I was 18 and she didn't want it. She wasn't motivated. She didn't do nothing. And I still broke up with her. But what he said rang true, because you could be with a chick and all she could want to do is run a nonprofit organization and change the world. And you can make enough money for two. She doesn't need to be in the same industry. You don't need a chick that's an entrepreneur. You just need a chick that's going after her own goals in life. That way you could do the same. And then at the end of the day, you guys are there for each other and supporting each other. That's how to handle a relationship.
And I'll tell you what, personally, for me, that's why I haven't been in relationships in the past. That's why I realized at this time of my life, it's probably not the best thing to be in a relationship, because at the rate that I'm growing, at the rate that I'm always hustling, I'm always grinding, I'm always networking, I'm always doing new things. So the person that, let's say I meet a chick, right? And this goes for both ways, guys, not just guys. And, I'm not just talking to you guys. I'm talking to the girls in here as well. Girls, you meet a dude who's not ambitious, he's not on his grind. So if I meet somebody 6 months ago, the person I am today is not the same person I was 6 months ago. And if the person I met 6 months ago, who I liked, who can be attracted to, and that's why I like them, is still that same person, I might not like them 6 months from now, because they're the same person. That's, I'm somebody different now. So I might be attracted to somebody different. Like, I just realized that's a common problem, I think, with entrepreneurs, is that they tend to outgrow people really, really fast. And you're going to realize, and you can't, this is why you can't get, it's like business. You can't get too emotional. Like, you can be emotionally invested 100% in business and relationships and everything in life that you do. You should always be emotionally invested. You should give it your all. You should be willing to put in the most effort possible, but you should not be emotionally attached to the outcome. I'll say it again, become emotionally invested, but do not be emotionally attached to the outcome. And I think that's a common problem with people. And because they become emotionally attached to the outcome, this vision, this dream, whatever they want it to happen, and it doesn't go that way, then boom, goals shattered, dreams shattered. They stop, doing what they need to do. So, that's my personal opinion on relationships. But I do think it's good to network with people, date people, talk to people, get to know different people, because that's gonna help you figure out who, fits best in your life, the type of people you like, the type of personalities you're into. But just don't let it interfere with your goals, your visions, your dreams. Because I'm just telling you right now, it's gonna be a big mistake. I have a lot of people who back in high school, I wanted them to, go down my route. I wanted them to do what I do. And they were too caught up in, relationships. And I don't even know how many people I can think. I tell Jeff all the time, how many people I see fall off and go from just killing it to where do they go? Because of a relationship. They start making less money.
Oh, yeah. Relationships are a downfall for dudes and chicks in being an entrepreneur. I know this one girl. She's a great girl. She has a Shopify store doing a couple $1,000s a month. In the last 3 years, she was she couldn't 2 years I known her, and she's in this relationship, and she was not happy, but only some of the time. She had hope, right? Chicks love to have hope. So does everyone, I think.
Right.
She couldn't break $2,000 a month of sales, and then dumped him and then went full force and doing $50,000 a month now. So, okay. So what I want to do now is, I want you guys to all type before we end. We're about an hour and 40 minutes into this. Before we get close to the end, I want to do something. I want to do an exercise where everyone types their number one problem they're having right now. And I don't want it to be how do I get motivated? I want you guys to put thought into this. And when you ask me, like when you finally come up with a problem you have, for example, you're saying, I'm not generating enough sales on my Shopify store. When you finally ask that problem in your head before you type it, I want you to ask why to yourself. Okay. So most people say, hey, Jeff, what am I doing with my store, my eBay store? I'm not making enough sales. I'm like, okay, so why don't you ask yourself that before you immediately shut your brain off and ask me? This is going to be an exercise. And I want you to go keep asking why on that number one problem, that educated question you guys have. Keep asking why until you're down to a point where you're like, okay, I need that direction now. And I want to run this exercise. So for example, Josh, right now, what's your number one problem in business?
Scaling.
Okay, so why? Why is it hard for you to scale right now?
Need to find more traffic sources to generate more leads.
How?
By creating more content, spending more money.
Okay.
And finding the right targeting for people that are interested in the products that I have.
Okay. So at that point, you notice that for most of these problems, they can be problem solved very simply. And then you get down to the actual question of Josh, he said, I need to find better targeted audience. How? How are you going to do that?
Testing, experimenting, hiring the people that professionals at.
Okay, there it is. That's the exact answer. That was honestly what he was going down for. His question was not, how do I scale? His question was, how do I find someone that can fix that problem fast and educated? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like the problem was not him ever not being
deeper. So with anything in business, and I do this with everything in life, I always go, why? I always dig deeper. So notice how Jeff, he asked me the first question and he said, like, pretty much why? Like, why is that a problem? I said, well, it's a problem because of this. Well, why? And he digs deeper. So for example, if I was like, I don't know, a random example, this iPhone is, black. And I was like, why? Well, because the screen is, shows that it's black. Well, why? Because behind it is black. Because of this, because of that, because there's so many different, you just have to dig deeper and deeper and deeper into every subject until you get to the main core process. So I like how you did that.
So I did this at an event. It was really cool. It was right on the patio behind me. And I said, everyone, tell me why you think you're not succeeding. And someone was like, dude, I just can't find passion. I'm like, why? He's like, and it just kept going deeper and deeper. And every one of these, they all answered their own fucking question. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one of these problems right now. And then I want the person, I'm going to say the name. I want the person to actually have a conversation with me. Okay, so it's Gibbs. I'm having trouble finding a business model that I actually stick to for a good amount of time. I guess it's because I haven't made any real money through them, so I kind of hop around. So the best thing I can ask here is, why do you hop around so fast? This is an exercise I can almost relate all of my income to, because like problems are going to be the number one like issue of your business. And you want to know what pays the most in any business skill? You could be a master at Facebook ads. You could be a master at public speaking. The number one skill that pays the most is problem solving. And this is the exercise I do every time I have a problem and every time I'm able to find a logical solution. Feeling people will have harder times with this. I think this is one of the harder things, because if you're a feeling person, you get kind of trapped in your feelings and you can't logically ask yourself from a secondary point of view, why, how are you going to do that? What do you need to do that? What's holding you back? So it's Gibbs. Where are you at? I'm going to do this for about 5 people. It's Gibbs. I think it's because I see everyone getting all these crazy numbers very quick and then I don't get them. So maybe I think I'm in the wrong business model. So why do you think you're not getting results fast enough? And why do you think that you need to get results faster? And if you say it's because you see people getting all these crazy numbers, realize that some people have, and this is not just a questions game for yourself, you have to actually respond. So when I say, why did you feel like that? The best way I can say this is, you feel like your issue is because you see everyone else's results and that unmotivates you, right? That's exact the reason. So you're saying the reason you're not consistent in a business right now is because other people's results make you unmotivated. I'll tell you this. Not everyone starts on an even playing field with business or life. I think everyone realizes this, but nobody actually talks about it. Not everyone starts on an even playing field. For example, if I launch a Shopify store and you launch a Shopify store, God damn, you have such a low % chance of outperforming me. It is insane because of my experience and acquired knowledge in the space. It's so hard. So if I started a Shopify store from zero, and you did today too, and I did $1 million my first month and you did $1, you can't get upset because you don't know my experience. You don't know my past. You don't know what I invested. You don't know the products. You don't know if I'm lying. So you cannot take other people's results in life and compare them to your own because nobody has the exact same path. All right. It's the funniest thing because once you realize that and you say, just pick a business model you know works with a mentor. So I told so many people for so many years, I know eBay dropshipping works. I'm like, I know it works. All you have to do is put the time and energy into and develop the skills that I tell you to develop. And I had so many fucking testimonials. Like I have hundreds of students making like thousands of dollars a month. And that's because it was something all of my students didn't look at other people's results and quit on Shopify and Amazon. They looked at what I told them to do. They all started from the exact same position. So everyone's results in my group turned out to be motivation instead of letting them upset you. So the best way I could say this is you cannot compare yourself to someone else. And when you realize that, you get to say, why am I really quitting? And that's because, I want you to answer this. Why are you actually quitting? It's just because you're saying I'm unmotivated by other people's results. And if that's your reason, I know it's not the real reason because you already know. Everyone in this call already knows nobody's on the same playing field. Josh and I are not starting at the same line when it comes to genetics in basketball or lifting weights. Josh has better weightlifting genetics. So him and I don't start at the same playing field. So if he gets really big, really fast in the gym because he has great genetics and I have decent or good genetics, doesn't mean my results aren't amazing. Right. Doesn't mean I didn't grow. It doesn't mean that I didn't have the results, but it just means we didn't start on the same playing field. It's not a reason for me to quit though. I know that if I just sit myself down and focus, I need to work hard at it. And I recently started doing a bunch of research on dropshipping. And I think my biggest problem is product research. So why is your biggest problem product research? Why aren't you finding profitable items? Why aren't you finding profitable items to sell? When you realize that, you're going to say, well, I just don't know how. So how are you going to figure out how to find more better profitable items to make money on? That's the question. Keep going down, keep digging, and you're going to find every answer you need. The problem is you guys find the problem and your mind shuts off and doesn't find the solution. And that's a bad fucking habit. So my number one problem is generating sales on Shopify, but I never know where to start. I run ads constantly. So I don't know if it comes down to I need to test more until I find winning audiences or if I need to be doing something different. So the question, you're asking the wrong question. It's not that what do I do? I'm struggling making sales on Shopify. You say, I'm running ads consistently, but they're underperforming. So stop saying my ads are underperforming and say, why are my ads underperforming? Every time they underperform, ask why and not say a statement. Because when you end something with a period in your mind, it stops it. Right. When you end up with a question mark, your mind fires in 92 different cylinders. It's like, what are all the possibilities? So I'm going to give you guys an example. This is when I use this solution, this exercise for the time of my life, the first time, and I really sat down consciously and did it. I was really depressed when I started making a lot of money on eBay. It sounds crazy, but I was spending 10 hours a day on the computer. Okay. I had left MLM and I had learned all of these extroverted skills. I learned how to talk to people. I learned how to talk to girls. I learned how to party. I learned how to build a team and not just have a team, but build friends and make friends and help other people make money in MLM. And in eBay, I was just making my own money. And that's how I started, right? I was just making my own money. And when I look back, I said to myself, I was depressed for like 2 entire months. And I said to myself, at one point, I was like, why am I depressed? I was depressed. That was the statement in my head. I said, why am I depressed? I asked myself that. I sat for a moment. I said, well, I'm depressed because I don't have a friend group, a group of friends to celebrate this success with. I don't have a group of friends that are around me anymore, I feel slightly lonely. Like like you guys took that personality test. I'm a 30% introvert. I'm not 100%. Extrovert. That means I'm not 100% introvert, which means I need to still be around people at some point in my life. I need to have a team. I need to have a support group. And I'm making all this money. I have no friends. My only friend is in Miami, and I'm in Orange County. So I'm taking planes all the time just to see him. And it's just like, I'm really unhappy. And I said, how do I fix this? I said, I got to build a team. I'm like, how do I build a team? Well, number one, I need to find motivated people. I need to find better people to hang out with. I need to make new friends. How do I make new friends? It's not a statement. I said, how do I make new friends? And I said, well, I need to go out more, and not just go out more, but I need to go out to where people that I would like to spend time with in general places. So what I did is I reached out to the people that I were friends with, like acquaintances with, but not best friends with, that I knew kind of from my past businesses. And I was like, what are you guys doing? Blah, 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 blah. I was like, where do you guys hang out? And I started finding out places I could hang out. Then I started sharing my results online, and people started hitting me up with similar results. They're like, hey, you do like eBay dropshipping? I do eBay dropshipping. Let's chat. And at that point, my support group slowly but steadily went from like 1 or 2 people to like 100 people over the course of a year. And over that year, it went to 1,000. And now my acquaintances list, my contacts list is like 50,000 people, it feels like. And I can't even get back to text because I have so many people in my life. But it all stemmed from that depression of me actually not knowing why I was depressed. I just was depressed. And then once I figured it out and I used problem solving, I kept saying, why am I depressed? Why don't I have friends? Well, that's because I don't go out. So why don't I go out? Well, that's because I don't feel confident. So why am I not confident? Okay, well, I'm not confident because I don't dress enough, and I feel like I should, take better care of myself. So I should buy new clothes. Once I buy new clothes, I got more confident. Once I started going out more, and I asked someone for like, hey, how do you, talk to people better? It's all of these things that you guys need to dig really deep with.
What are those little things everyone's putting?
That means they agree with the comment.
That's one here.
So nobody around me, that's something I experienced. No one around me has the same mindset as me and views money and freedom the way I do, which is a big benefit of the group. I've already connected with people. Yeah. And that's why you guys need to know this group is important. And you guys need to be in this Telegram group, because if you guys aren't able to find friends right now to hang out with, you guys get to spend 2 hours a week with us. You guys can spend infinite, then that's live. That's like you guys hanging out with me. I'm responding to your guys' comments. I'm literally here for you guys. And on top of it, you need to have people you talk to outside of this. You have to have people you complain to, and they say, stop complaining, stop saying something, and ask how we fix it. And you need to find those people. And if they're online right now, fuck it. That's fine.
And real quick, you guys don't understand. I know it's a big, important part. I know, like, obviously, all you guys love the group because of the ability to connect with like-minded people, connect with people that are hustling, connect with people that want to get to that next level. I know everyone always says, nobody gets me, nobody understands me, nobody has the same mindset as me. You guys have to understand. That's why there's a 3% and a 97%. They're not supposed to understand you. They're not supposed to have the same mindset as you. They're not supposed, excuse me, they're not supposed to want to make as much money as you. That's life. So don't expect them to. And you expecting them to, and you waiting for people to do that so you can take action, so you can get to the next level, so you can actually do something, so you can feel motivated, it's only going to hold yourself back. And that's, I think, the difference between, the people who go out, build big, successful businesses, who make a lot of money, and the people who get stuck, who lose momentum, or who just never do fucking anything because they're waiting to find somebody with a like-minded, waiting to find somebody who believes in them. It's not going to happen. That's not reality. Like, this is why every successful person you ever heard, whether it's an athlete, a rapper, some sort of musician, and personality, or even an entrepreneur, has a very, very similar success story. It's like, came from X, Y, and Z. Nobody believed in me. Nobody expected me to do this. Everybody doubted me. My teacher said I couldn't do it. And I believed in myself, and I worked hard, and now I'm here. And the reason why the story all sounds the fucking same is because you're only hearing from 3%. The 97% don't have that story, because the 97% is like, nobody believed in me, had all these goals, and well, they're right. So understand that, guys. They're not supposed to believe in you. They're not supposed to fucking motivate you. That's your job and your job only, all right?
I actually, you guys are all actually, in the comments, we've lost about 25 people from when we started this call, and that's understandable because we've been on 2 hours. But now looking at the comments, you guys are realizing why you're unhappy and why you're not really seeing the results. And I think you guys are understanding. So number one problem, I have every bit of information on how to run a successful e-commerce business, but I get skeptical when results don't come back, which leads me to trying to learn more and less action. So you just got to set an actual goal. What I mean by that, designer, is if you're saying, okay, I cannot find out how to actually generate some sales, what I want you to do is brainstorm every possible way you can market the product you're doing. And so I'm saying, what could I do? What is some crazy marketing strategy? So if you're selling a pen, say, okay, let me go find an Instagram page where I could promo this pen, and actually these people might be interested. Build a list of like 7 different experiments you could run every other day. Don't make it every day. It's hard to do something every day. Every other day for the next 3 weeks, run 7 experiments. I promise you're going to find one that converts a little bit. And then when you try to scale it, you realize you're going to hit a roadblock. You say, why am I hitting a roadblock? You're going to hit, okay, well, maybe this marketing strategy worked for this audience for that day, and now they're a little burnt out by that same pen ad. So when you guys realize that, you have to be running experiments, and you have to be asking yourself constantly, what's going on? Why is it not working? How can I make it work? Why am I upset? Why am I spending too much money? These questions need to be asked subconsciously all of the time with everything you're not happy with. So if you're not happy with the money you're making, talk to yourself. It's the biggest thing I could tell you. And I can do this. I can do the same thing. I can help you guys do that. For those that saying, I need a stronger network. Why do you need a stronger network? Someone who just said that? Jordan Smith. I need a stronger network with people like you guys. Why? Tell me why right now. Why do you need a stronger network? I didn't have one. I didn't have one for a long time. So why do you think you need a network right now? If you are, blaming, you guys can't let these problems be the epitome of the reason you're not succeeding. So if you're saying I'm not where I'm at because I don't have a support group, well, that's now an excuse and not a problem-solving problem. What the goal is in this exercise is for you to understand that I don't have a support group right now. That's not stopping me from making money. But what that is doing is it's making me a little bit unmotivated and a little bit procrastinating because I don't have people on my side. So that's when you say, okay, that's the issue that support group thing's causing, not the generalization of success. Someone said, okay, I need a support group to find answers that I don't know where to find them. Why don't you know where to find them? This is going to get annoying the longer I do this for you guys. It really is. It's going to get annoying because it makes you think. And then when your brain's thinking on the spot, it gets really nervous. Your brain, I'm going to tell you guys something that someone told me. Your brain is like not you. I feel like your soul's you. Your brain's not really you. Your brain's kind of working against you most of the time. Most of the time, like you feel something and your brain's like, damn, I don't feel good. And you're like, yeah, I don't feel good. I don't like this feeling. I got to stop it. But when you actually like work with your brain, you can do a lot of cool things. And what I mean by that is if you're, doing, whatever, for example, I was in jiu-jitsu and one of my coaches, like multiple world champion, he goes, the only person you're fighting against is going to be only yourself. Like the only person you're actually competing against is the person you see in the mirror. And it took me so long to figure out what that meant. I was like, what do you mean the only person I'm fighting is myself? Does that mean like I don't really want to be training or like I'm not letting myself succeed? And it was the fact that I would let my brain beat me. And he kind of explained this to me one time. I would just let myself beat myself down. And, your brain's the second form of you that you guys have the ability to control or let control you by letting it, not to give up. Everyone's brain wants to shut off. It wants to end it. I'm not making money right now because of this. Done. Thought process over. Make it work. Make it work. I'm not saying it is not making me successful, but I am having a hard time getting the right information. Okay. Right information, though, is now placement. Why am I not being placed in the right environments for me to find information? You know what I'm saying, Josh? Like right. When you say that, you say, okay, well, am I buying every possible mastermind I can? And if you don't have money, why don't I have money? I'm working on my dreams right now. I'm not working a job. I'm not doing anything for money. I'm making $0. Why would you let yourself make $0 when you know money is a motivator for people that have the information? So if you guys are not succeeding right now and you have no money, you should be working a damn job. Don't have no money to go into building a business. Now, some people somehow made this work, and you guys get inspired by their stories. You say, I'm going to drop out of high school and college, and I'm going to do this, and I'm not going to work a job because, Steve Jobs played with technology, and, Bill Gates played with technology in their basements or their garage, and they made it work. Don't compare yourselves to anomalies. Don't let that be what motivates you and makes the decisions. What makes decisions is that most people I know that got successful worked a damn job until their business paid more than their job. When their business pays you more than your job, you quit your job. Right? Don't let these crazy stories influence you guys. You need to be making money to invest. And what I'm saying is, bro, some of the best places I've networked was Equinox, like the gym. I was making like 6 figures, and I paid this gym so I could work. It's like fucking $200 a month to work out.
Basic membership.
The basic membership is $200 a month.
$500 for valet parking.
And next thing I know, over the course of the year, I'm working out with like millionaires and billionaires. And that's obviously, you got to learn how to win friends and influence people and network. But it cost me money to be there. And those are the people that guided me to the right information, especially about real estate and these really tight niche big business models. Those are the people that guided me there, and I had to invest into an environment that would let me be around people like that. I'm not saying, guys, go spend the money in your gym. What I'm saying is you have to have money if you want to get around the right information. That's just life. Because Warren Buffett's not going to go walk down the street and be like, yippity-ki-yay, yo, come here, little kid. Like, I'm going to do a free mastermind for everyone in Omaha. It's not reality. You know what? Where he gives the most information in his books, which you got to pay for, and at his investors meeting, he drops so much knowledge there. But it's all investors into his business. Money talks, guys. So just don't be afraid to like invest in yourself, and don't let yourself be broke. Why the fuck do you have $0? Why can you not go to an event? Why can you not go to some networking event that some big entrepreneur that you trust is holding? Don't let shit go. Like don't let yourself fucking live a fantasy and be broke forever. You know how many networking events and different things I went to? Like, I'm not here to sell you guys on my networking events. I don't care. I went to events nonstop. You guys already paid me for the inner circle. I don't need to convince you guys to do it again. So hear my words as honest as I can. You guys need to be out there. You guys got to be doing the most. If you're not around people making $100,000 a month, it's going to be harder for you to make $100,000 a month. That is the God honest truth. And so I got in when I made my first $100,000 is when I started hanging out with my buddy who was doing $1 million a month. And how I met him is I paid for a private jet membership for $20,000 a year. So do that on a little scale. And that guy's association didn't directly give me specific knowledge on how to hit $100,000 a month, but it showed me it was fucking possible. I was like, dude, this dude's doing $1 million a month, and I see his business model and I see what he's doing. And I'm not in his business. He was in medical marijuana and, legal medical marijuana. And I'm over here like, okay, I'm in e-commerce and I'm in internet marketing. I was like, but this guy's doing it, and he's inspiring me on a daily basis, and he's bringing me up. And, not on a daily basis, but we'd hang out once a month or something. And the other 29 days of the month, I was focused on becoming more and better because he inspired me. So be around better people. Invest in yourself. I don't need to keep going on this. You guys need to go to events. You guys need to do more. And if you don't have the money to go to these events, get the fucking money together.
And I'll tell you what, here's an important reason why it's important to go to events. I read something somewhere before that Will Smith posted, and he was saying it's very important for anybody, kids, adults, anybody that wants to get somewhere else in life, to meet who they look up to in person, to meet who they aspire to be like, to meet people who acquired the skills that they want to acquire in real life. So just so they can see that it's possible, because obviously you can learn a lot of this stuff online. Obviously, everybody knows that, right? Information's everywhere. But
hold on, guys. Postmates is here. Go get it. Just go get it, Josh.
Yeah. So again, here's what you have to realize, and I'll talk to the mic so the dog is.
I'm gonna mute this for 2 seconds, guys, so you don't gotta listen to this. Boom. All right.
So you said the reason why it's important for people to meet the people they look up to meet people they want to learn from, is they need to realize subconsciously that it's real. So a lot of you guys see what we're doing on the internet, right? You see what we're doing. It looks awesome, looks cool, but deep down, subconsciously, you might not know it's real yet. So it's important that, for example, when we start having events, to make sure that you make a conscious effort to actually try to go, because your subconscious mind is going to be like, holy shit, this is real. These are real people. They're actually doing it. This is the life they're actually living. The businesses they're actually creating. I can actually do it, because you're able to relate. And here's an example. let's say, like I never, ever thought about jumping out my balcony right now and trying to fly. I never thought about it. And no, it's not possible. Like it's in my mind, it's physically impossible. I never seen anybody do it. But if I saw my neighbor right now jump off his balcony and just fly.
He's like, yo, you can do this.
Yeah. And he's just like, oh, you can do this. I'll be like, hold up. How the fuck did he do this? How can I do this? I need to learn how to do this. Right. But I wouldn't.
That's a very specific explanation, but yes.
Right. For example. So, but obviously, super exaggerated, but you guys get the point I'm creating. I would never think about it. I would never try to do it. I would never believe in myself that I could do it if I never seen anybody do it. Right. I can watch YouTube videos. I can watch fucking movies all day of people fucking doing it. But until I really see it with my own eyes, it's going to be really tough for me to believe it and actually try it. So I think it's very important for you guys to go to events, to go out and meet people that are actually doing the things you want to do. Because it's going to, believe that subconscious belief level, as well as show you what's actually possible and, raise your confidence and your ability and desire to want to go actually get the shit done.
Yeah. I mean, it's fucking true. I'm not even gonna front. Like I never thought it was possible when I was 18 starting entrepreneurship to make $20,000-$30,000 a month. I remember I met my first kid. His name was Julian. He was an MLM. And, we did a home event. They were trying to sell me to join the company. I ended up joining because money talks. And I got, sold the dream. And he showed me his back off and he's like, yeah, this is the direct deposit of $30,000. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I'm like, how is that possible? And a year and a half later, I made $30,000 in a month. And I was like, shit. I was like, yo, like it's possible. But how would I have known to proceed to a path like that if I hadn't known it was possible? So you guys see us and it's hard for you guys to be like, relate to us right now because you guys are probably on a different level than us. You guys are probably like, oh man, I have these guys as my mentors. But they make it seem so easy to become successful and they make it so relatable. And, in reality, like I wake up and I'm stressed and I want to build this business. I want to be successful. But they just make it sound so easy. And I know that's how a lot of you guys feel. The difference is you need to you guys need to know that the reason we make it sound easy and the reason it comes out of our mouths sounding easier than what you guys feel like it is because we went through it. We've already done all the trial and errors and we're saying this is what you have to do to move forward. The difference is the reason you think we're talking out our asses or you think most successful people talk out of their asses when we talk about success is because you see in front of you the heartaches and the headaches and the mental frustration that it's going to take you to get to here. And it's going to happen. It's not going to be easy and you want it. And you're going to have to overcome that. You guys are going to have to say, yo, this is like what they're saying is the guideline and I have to make my own rule book. So if I said, I want you to, build this business and I want you to follow these guidelines, you guys are going to have to figure out each step. You guys are going to have to draw your own map and that's life. And, when you have the guideline though, things become a lot easier. And so for example, I'm building a personal brand right now and I've done pretty damn well. Between Josh and I, we have, 40,000 people viewing our lives on a daily basis. And we want to get to that next level and we've never done it. But we know people have done it, right?
Right.
So what was our step we took? I reached out to some of the biggest social media guys in the world in the last 6 months. And I was like, yo, what is the guidelines? Let me put in the work. I know it's not going to be overnight. I know they're going to make it sound easier than it is. But I know with the right guidelines and says, hey, you guys need to take this approach. And you guys should probably be doing this. And I can tell you guys the best businesses for you to be in. I can tell you guys right now, especially if you're young, what you guys should be putting your energy into and what events you guys should be going to. I can tell you all that. You obviously got to want to know it, but you're still going to have to go to the events. You guys are still going to have to build the business. You guys are still going to have to deal with the problems, even if I am your mentor. Do you all understand that? Does that make sense? Because it's not just going to be an overnight thing where you guys are like, oh man, I'm now a millionaire because I joined the inner circle and I have Jeff as my mentor. I'm now a millionaire. I had the best people in jiu-jitsu in the entire world teaching me. And I still got my ass whooped by really good people. The best people in the world. And I trained 10 hours a day. And I still got my ass whooped by really good people because they cannot teach you everything. And there's some things that's going to take time and energy to learn. And there's some things like scaling and, they can tell you what to do. They can say, hey, you just need to run ads like this way and I can help you out. But at the end of the day, you will always run into your own problems. And I think you all know this, and I think you all understand this. And I think through these live calls, over the next year, if you guys spend 2 hours with me and Josh every weekend, and, once we get the first 10 done, every other live call will have a really dope person, and we'll have 2 mics, and, we'll have like multiple camera angles and all this stuff. And yeah, so we're at 2 hours. We're going to call it quits soon. This is kind of the last 10 minutes. Let's wrap it up. I know you guys want to have a good night. We're going to start bringing people in, and they're going to give you a different perspective. They're going to either tell you the same shit, and then you say, okay, I'm going to double down on what they already said, or they're going to give you a different perspective and you guys get to try that. And I'm not going to hesitate. Sorry, guys. I'm not going to hesitate if someone comes on this call that, someone referred me to, or, someone that's like, I'm big on this and affiliate marketing and ads. And, Josh and I have a decent understanding of ads, right? But I'm not going to hesitate to call someone out on this live call. That's who I am. That's who I be. And I intend on bringing you guys like the honest truth. And I don't want any fluff bullshit. So if someone comes in here on a live call and is like, yeah, man, the secret to success is really going to be like not working hard. But this, I'm going to just, Josh and I are just going to roast them and I'll do it live because it's not like this inner circle actually means something to us. And it's not something that's going to be like some fluff content filled bullshit. Because when I said, I think the first official live call is the second one, but to me, it's the first one, the first actual business builder one. And I said it needs to be easy for everyone to understand. Some of you guys are underage. Some of you guys are 25 and some of you guys are 30. Some of you guys are making 6 figures and some of you guys are making $0. So the first one needs to be something that they can all correlate with. Some of you guys, when we bring these Facebook ad guys on for these live calls, some of you guys are going to get no value from it. And that's what this is going to be about. It's not going to be everything's for everyone, right? That's what you guys need to understand. We're not going to teach everything for everyone,
right.
But the things we're going to teach are some foundational things. And so knowing who you are as an entrepreneur or as a person and knowing what your personality is and knowing that, hey, everyone is different. For example, you guys might not have the same personality as me. So when I say I don't have a damn schedule and you know who you are and you're like, I need a damn schedule. Realize that that's what today was about. Today was also about learning how to build a better team. If my videographer was like me, he would only care about the content he produces and the amount of money he's making. And that's who I am. He instead cares about the vision of my business. And that makes me able to trust him with the work moving forward. So, it's like you guys got to understand how to build a team. And so I have accountants, I have business partners that handle everything from all of those things. And that's just the truth. So I'm going to let Josh talk a little bit, give his opinion.
No, 100% agree with everything that you said so far. I think at the end of the day, you guys, tuning into this, it really comes down to knowing who you are, knowing who you work best with, and, being able to dissect and problem solve. A lot of you guys tend to get caught up with problems. And this is kind of just recapping what we talked about already today. But a lot of you guys tend to get caught up with problems, get caught up with certain things. And you create problems in your mind that don't really exist in real life. So I don't know how to scale, or I need to build a team, or how do I grow? My girlfriend is pissed at me because I'm focusing on this. Like, these are problems that you guys are creating that are not actually problems. They're just things, again, they're self-limiting beliefs. We go back to, the first thing we talked about, the first video we did. They're self-limiting beliefs that you guys keep telling yourself to really justify why you're not where you want to be. So get rid of the self-limiting beliefs, start dissecting problems, ask why, dig deeper, figure out the solution to your own problems. You need to do. You just got to fucking do it. And learn about yourself. You guys all know your personalities now. If I were you personally, I would go order a book about your personality. I would read all about your personality online. I would watch YouTube videos about it. I'd really, 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 really learn your personality down to the T. And then also learn the basic, 4 or 5, personality aspects. That way you can kind of determine who you're going to work best with, and you can try to read other people to the best of your ability. Because again, like I said, it comes down to ethics, comes down to people's intentions when choosing business partners. So if you can kind of take a look at their personality type, you can kind of figure those things out and figure out if they're the best people to work with. I think it's very important. And also, don't try to overcomplicate things that don't need to be complicated. I think back to that comment when someone was like, how do I build a team for my Shopify? If you don't need a fucking team, you don't need a team. If you're making $1,000 a month, you don't need a team, right? So don't overcomplicate things that don't need to be overcomplicated. Just really try to, laser focus on a goal, laser focus on a vision to help you get to that next level. And then also, I recommend if you guys are watching this right now, go back, watch the first live call we did. Watch this one again, then do it again, take notes, like really learn this, practice it, make it a religion, make it like hardwired into your brain. Don't just listen to this, get fired up and and I get it. A lot of it is a lot of information. It's a lot to take in, and it's going to be very difficult to, retain everything we said on this live call. But if you listen to it over and over and over, you implement it, you practice it, and you consciously make efforts to do what we talk about, then it's going to get easier for you to understand it and to actually apply it in your daily life. But don't just listen to this 2-hour call and only take one thing away. And even if you do take one thing away, then you still got value out of this. It's still worth it, in my opinion. But just try to get the most information, most value that you possibly can out of this.
Also, do you guys find it better? Most people do webinars with like shitty cameras and shitty audio. Do you guys find it better and easier to, hang with us for 2 hours thanks to the content level? I would like to know that as we move forward with anything I do. I think in my opinion, it's much easier to pay attention to a clear video where you guys could, see if I have a goddamn pimple on my face and you guys can hear a fucking crack in my voice. I'm not, that's why I invested so much in all this equipment. It's important to me. It's important to me that you guys are actually entertained as you hang out with us. And so, moving forward, the curriculum that we actually have recorded videos for will be a new way I'm doing education, online education. And it was actually my team's idea, not even mine. And that is kind of like a valuetainment idea. So what we're going to do is we will come up with a curriculum, and I'm not going to sit at 40 minutes at a desk like this. I can't walk around and do activities while I do a 2-hour live call. Not possible. But as I record a video about the importance of certain things and, styles of doing business and maybe even us doing them in the moment, I'm trying to create valuetainment. So you guys are entertained. You guys are like, hey, I could watch this like a show, and I get so much value out of it. So that's the goal for the curriculum. I need to make the curriculum. I have a good rough idea. So bear with me on that. Just trust me that these live calls will change your life much faster than you think they will. And I'm stoked. I'm really cool. I'm really stoked for this group. We're at 260 members. I don't know where the other members are. I think we need to send an email out with getting everyone on the Telegram and the Facebook bot. So I know everyone is going to have the ability to tune into these live calls. Cause if you miss it, it sucks because being live is so much better than being recorded, but at least you have them recorded too. Everyone's saying 2 hours went by really fast. The majority, I think 75% of the live audience stayed on with us the entire time. That's cool as shit. And Josh and I get really exhausted. What I will do is if Josh is done, you're done. I'm going to stay on and do a 10-minute Q&A for you guys. And then I'm going to call it a night. We went to this crazy Lamborghini event today. So I'll tell you guys our day today. You guys can hang out with us. So Christian said, where's the credit program? That's going to be added to your back office whenever Nick gets back from this wedding. So today was a dude that's running Facebook ads. He's doing about $4 billion a year in Facebook ads. Ironically, I've known him for a few years, and I didn't want him to do my Facebook ads for my e-commerce businesses, and not just Facebook ads in general, YouTube, everything. And he's doing about $4 billion a year in ad spend. And one of his fashion companies, I don't want to tell you the name, one of his fashion companies, it's probably one you guys know of, it's really hyped right now, that is paying him. He's getting an 8 times return on a ROAS, return on ad spend for them. So it's every dollar they put in, they get an 8 out, which is cool. We hung out with him and then a couple big social media guys, along with a couple smaller guys today. And that's cool. So, that was kind of our day. And then after this, so I just want you guys to get a feel of my day. And I want you guys to relate your days to that. And that is, then we jumped on this. We took a 30-minute chill period. I've slept 4 hours for the last 5 nights. Josh has too. Not saying we grind 18 hours a day, but I'm saying I'm, on my shit. And I want to be real with you guys. I want to tell you guys about our days, and I want to share this stuff with you. And I think this is actually going to be a better way for us to start these live calls, Josh.
Right.
I think a really cool thing is we'll just start it with like how our like last few days have been.
Right.
And I think that's cool. And then from here, we're going to get this with the video team. We're going to chop this up, clean it up, get it uploaded for all you guys to be able to record it. And then we'll probably record a podcast tonight for the Dropout Degree, which I hope you guys are tuning into that too. Obviously, we don't go in depth and you guys aren't, there. Sometimes we're going to go live on the Dropout Degree, but while we're recording the podcast, you guys get it like a few days before. And then we will probably write a bunch of email sequences and do a bunch of stuff till about 4 a.m. tonight. And then we'll probably wake up at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So I hope you guys, you don't know what to do with your day. And the reason I told you guys all that is because you guys didn't hear me say like, I sat at a computer and built funnels for the last 12 hours. It's not possible to do that type of work all day. What I will say is you guys need to fill up your day with some activities and stop, watching TV. And, I'm a video gamer. So like, I'll get caught up in video games pretty easy. So if I'm like playing a game, like, Fortnite or whatever, I could get caught up for a week straight, just playing video games, like 6 hours a day. And I'll be like, damn, my week just disappeared because I have that much time freedom. So does Josh. Josh could like literally like disappear off the grid and he'd be fine for like a week. And then he's just be like, fuck, I lost a week. And that happens to us. But I will say I'm making a conscious effort moving forward from this to be on top of my shit, network better. I want you guys to hear me reflect on myself, and I'm going to let Josh do it if he wants to. I think he wants to get out of here a little bit. He's tired. I think Josh and I have some really serious potential to take over our marketplaces because they're untapped for our age demographics as a personal brand and stuff like that. I think we have the chance to like really be big, and to do that, you need a lot of help. Sometimes you don't, but you need a lot of support, I think. And so my main goal right now for the next 6 months is going to be, number one, building a podcast for free, where anybody and everyone, and I think this is Josh's main goal too, is we're going to build a podcast that's for anyone and everyone, and they can just change their life with that information. Second main goal is going to be blowing this group up to 500 people. Then we're going to cap it out. That's my promise, at least for like 2 or 3 months. And then we're going to run a few tests as we do these lives. And at 500 people, we could realistically expect 250, 300 on live, you think?
Yeah.
And out of 500 people, 300 people live with us every week. I want to make sure that the chat's not moving so fast that I can't give you guys that aspect. So at 500 people, I'm going to cap it out. If we end up being able to let more people in, it's more beneficial for everyone. And here's why I say that is because there'll be more people at the events. There's more budget for these events and our production quality and how much time we can invest. So if the inner circle is making, our company $100,000 a month, you guys can see that I'm willing to take a much larger chunk of my day in my life investing into this core group.
Right.
Because I have businesses that aren't educational businesses that are doing me $50,000 to $200,000 a month as well. So if you guys see that, it's more beneficial for everyone that I and Josh are much more invested. So that's my goal for this course. And then we're going to just keep providing that dope value and whatnot. And then I just think that my third main goal is going to be to network my way to become instantly like Instagram famous and YouTube famous and everything like that, because there's definite tips and tricks I don't even know when it comes to personal branding that I will find out.
Right.
That we will find out. Before we get into the Q&A, I want to let Josh just talk if he wants to.
Yeah, sure. I mean, as most of you guys know, me and Jeff are kind of on the same schedule, doing the same thing. Recently, I've been really focused, and me and Jeff as well, really trying to strategize and game plan and reflect. So what I mean is we reflect on what we've done that got us to this point. We reflect on what we've done in the past few days. We reflect on what we've done in the last few months. We reflect on how we're spending our money. We reflect on how we're investing our money. We reflect on all our businesses, how they're producing results. And then we, strategize and so we analyze that, and then we strategize on how we're going to improve that, scale that, and get to the next level. So we've been doing a lot of that the last few weeks. I think we have a notebook. I think right here. I'm seeing. So we got like a notebook. Been taking notes, literally like writing a bunch of stuff down. We'll go over and have me and Jeff will do dinner and lunch pretty much every day at this one little output. So we've been just looking around and really trying to learn as much as we possibly can and self-develop as people. That way we can grow as business owners, grow, like Jeff said, certain things like personal branding or things about business that we don't know yet. And we're seeking that information from people that we look up to or that we find as mentors, or we're paying for that information from somebody.
And so to reflect on that, you guys are going to say in your minds, okay, Jeff and Josh are they're only getting that information because of where they're at, or they have the obscene amount of money. And that's not the case, because I tell you guys all the time, if you want to learn something and you guys want to know something, it's the same philosophy I use to this day. You can either pay them.
Right.
It's a very motivating thing for someone that has what you want to get paid what they want. So if you guys want to learn how to make $100,000 a month, it's not a bad idea to pay someone to teach you, as long as they're qualified and verified. Now, I'm not telling you guys to go any fucking person on the internet that says they're making money, because I'll be honest, like no person that's young on the internet is as transparent as Josh and I, like at this point, because like I go on a 2-hour live and I just told you guys like, as much as I did, nobody's like that. Everyone's like, oh, I'm not showing you guys my profits, or I'm not talking about this. I'm not talking about the numbers that this business is making. Like, you have to find people that are transparent and that you trust. When you find that, you can find someone that can teach you how to make money, or you provide value. And this is also the other flip side of the whole scenario. I might know someone that can change that'll change Josh's life.
Right.
And if I connect them, that person might be willing to, network with me. And so if I wanted to get in with these big social media guys, I did not just DM some random dude and just magically make it work out.
Right.
And what I did was I networked my way through people after person of providing value, or they wanted to provide value to me, and in return, I, accepted them into my circle or whatever. Eventually that relayed to a connection where someone said, hey, oh, I know that guy. I'm like, oh, I've been wanting to meet that guy, and they know him. This is actually how I met Ty. So this is an interesting story. So Ty and I are friends, Ty Lopez. Him and I are friends. Like, we text, and he invites me to his events. I'm probably going to go to his event tomorrow just to check it out and meet. I have a couple of people that I've been wanting to meet in LA that Josh and I are going to meet up with, and it's a good excuse for us to go up there, even though I fucking hate LA. And the way I met Ty is I hooked up this kid, and with eBay, I decided to mentor him. Before I ever had a course, I taught him how to make, he's making like $5 extra a month. He was doing another business. And because of his friend who was in the social media business, who was verified and all this stuff, he knew Ty, and Ty liked him. And so when he went to hang out with Ty one day, he's like, hey, I'm going to bring a friend. And Ty's like, all right, cool. I showed up. Meanwhile, I'm 21. I'm 23 now. I'm 21. I show up to his house in an R8, and I don't have no beard. I look like a little kid. I'm not making enough money that's qualified. And over the last 2 years, I built a relationship with him. And he's seen me level up, and I've seen him level up, and we've never asked anything from each other besides one time he asked me to speak at his event, and I did that for free. And so as I build that relationship and provide value, and I network my way through people, is how you guys are going to do the same thing. But yeah, so let's do a Q&A. Let's do this. Let's end this. My neck hurts. Let's do a Q&A. 10 minutes. Steven, start the clock right now. 10 minutes.
I'll do it.
Is that my energy drink, or which one's mine?
This one's mine, but it's kind of empty.
I'm cool with it being empty. Anything you guys want to know? Do not give me a question
That's one
that I just can't answer. Like, if you guys ask me how you can make more money in Facebook ads, I just can't sit here and answer that without doing a
presentation.
Yeah, like a presentation. And why do you guys want to learn that shit from me when I pay people to do it? So,
yeah.
Okay. Josh, this is a good question for you. I've done this twice when I was younger. So someone said, have either of you personally had an social media marketing agency? No. And yes, I did social media for a couple companies, and I got paid well. And instead, I decided to sell out and talk to them because I didn't want to do the work anymore. Right. On the other hand, Josh had Jet Set Media,
right, yeah.
So he had a company called Jet Set Media.
We actually just recently relaunched a new company, and we just actually closed the client yesterday. So
if you guys realize that, like Josh specifically isn't running a social media marketing business because he's more focused on building a massive personal brand. That's
I'm
where
more in
his
the
focus is.
generating leads and consulting business, if that makes sense.
Well, you're kind of an advisor to your own company at this point. So
Right.
he's having people that he trusts, that he's built relationships with, that are good business partners, not running partners, but business partners. He's having them run that business, and instead he's advising them on how to move forward and taking a smaller percentage. That's how you guys use leverage to, have multiple businesses.
That's how I scale. That's how a lot of people ask me, how do you build so many different sources of income? Is pretty much just that. I would do a little bit of the dirty work in the beginning and put in the work and build the foundation. But then I would bring in people, work with people, and I would accept a less amount of money, right? A less percentage to also do a shit ton less work. And that's it. People are running the business, they're scaling the business. I advise, I give them information, I consult, and I just collect the check. It's easy for me. I'm able to put my time and energy into where I want to put it, which is where I believe is going to be my future, my best bet. And it's worked out perfectly for me.
I really want you guys to really take this question and answer stuff serious, because really think about some good questions, some stuff that you really want to know about us that we don't talk about all the time. Because if you want to know how much hours I sleep, it's 4 to 15. I don't know. I never slept 15 hours, but I'm saying I sleep 4 hours some nights, and other nights I sleep 8. So I don't. There's no perfect number. I told you guys I'm not the personality type that has a schedule, that writes things down, that is organized, and I'm okay with that. And if you guys are better off being organized, and that's what you guys are, and that's who your personality says you are, use that to your advantage. Be organized. Get on top of your stuff. Stay time organized. I'm a mess, but it works for me.
Somebody says SMS marketing or email marketing, in your opinion. Let me ask you a question. Do you check your email, or do you check your text messages more? Obviously, you probably said text messages. The downside of text message marketing
Pisses everyone off.
Yeah, is 1, it pisses everybody off. 2, it costs a lot more money. And 3, a lot of people, when they get messages that marketing to their text, they kind of see it as spam. I do think it is I think it's very beneficial in terms of reminding people, right, as a secondary form of marketing. But if you really want to know where the money's at, it's going to be Facebook Messenger marketing, the same way we're giving you guys notifications on how to tune into the live feeds, on events, etc., through Facebook Messenger. I did multiple 6 figures with purely having a funnel that just goes to Facebook Messenger, the Messenger pre-qualifying clients, and then closing them by themselves. No work on my end, automated sequence, and making over 6 figures just by driving traffic. So the real money maker, Facebook Messenger. But if you obviously want to increase your conversions, do all of them. Do Facebook Messenger, do SMS reminders, and do email marketing, and retarget with ads. Because the more you guys realize, most people don't buy something until the 7th time they see it or hear it or introduced to it. So why introduce it to them on the same platform 7 times, 7 emails, when you can go 2 Facebook messages, 1 text message, 3 emails, 1 live feed, and 1 ad. That's 7 times. And that can be done and condensed in a lot shorter amount of time than them seeing it in the same place 7 different times, which would probably more likely piss them off. So do all forms of marketing, but I would put a lot of attention on Facebook Messenger. Depending on whatever your product service is. I know a lot of people use it for Shopify, and a lot of people use it for internet marketing, and it does very well, as well as consulting, agencies, etc.
Okay. Main differences between Shopify and eBay. That's a good one. Shopify has the ability to be scaled really fast if you get a solid ad, or find a solid product, or an Instagram promo pops off, you can make $100,000 sales. eBay is a much slower route, but it's a much more consistent and residual route. So for example, one Shopify ad might really do well for 1 month, and the second month that product might make you $0. eBay, on the other hand, if you make $20,000 1 month, you probably make $20,000 the next month, as long as you keep that consistent, 1 or 2 hours a day work up. That's the difference. eBay, you're not going to go to $100,000 a month in 1 month or 12 months. It's pretty fucking hard, but it compounds. So unlike Shopify, it compounds. That's the best way to describe it. eBay is going to be 2 or 3 hours a day work, the same grind every single day. Shopify is going to be you're going to put as much time in, and you're going to find all the loopholes and all the ads. You got to figure out how to make ads work, and it's going to be more grind. It's going to be more grind.
A lot more tedious work.
No, I think eBay is more tedious work. Shopify is more mental work.
Right. On Shopify, you got to stay on top of things. You got to look at your competitors. You got to an ad will only convert for so long. A product is only in style for so long. Shopify, I think, is more based around being on point all the time.
I don't know why people want to compare them so much. I don't know why people don't do both.
Right.
Like I tell people eBay business, you only need 3 or 4 hours a day. And if you do an eBay business and you like, it's not even me selling my course because it's closed. I haven't taken students in like 9 months or no, like 3 months. It's closed. I don't let people in anymore. And it's 3 hours a day of work. And if you guys can find the information on the internet, you're more than welcome to. I'll probably make a video on it. I won't go too in depth because obviously I have the secrets that I taught to the students that paid me a lot of money. I'm not going to lie. They paid me a lot of money to know these secrets. I'm not going to share them for free, but I will teach you guys the basics throughout this course. It takes 2 or 3 hours a day, and the rest of the day you can spend building a Shopify store. There's no reason to compete. What was the other one? Okay, so someone asked me about upcoming trends. I like to take this approach. I'm not going to guess what's going to be trending next. For example, Josh couldn't have guessed when he built that ATM educational business because nobody gave a fuck about ATMs 3 months ago. And he said, dude, Eric and I are making money doing this. It's a real business. And, I just interviewed Eric, by the way. It's his business partner. He's making, a good amount of money a month. And in the last year and a half, I've watched him put about 30 plus ATMs in different dispensaries and salons and haircut places. And it never even occurred to me that I could build a super legit ATM business. Like, I just don't know why it's a thought process. Like, it's just not normal. Like, most people just never thought about it. And so that is now trending. Like, Josh posts a video on YouTube now about an ATM business, and like it's like 70,000 views. But like 4 months ago, that was impossible. So how can you guess a trend? It's really difficult. But what you can do,
guess it, but you can get in the front edge, the first line.
Which is what I'm saying is, if someone else was to find an ATM business and Josh saw it was trending, he could go, okay, this is trending for the next couple months. I'm going to go start an ATM business over the next 2 weeks. I'm going to do my absolute best to succeed as much as possible. And if I do get results and I do see a business, I can now take advantage of that market. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is the best way I can explain it to you. You shouldn't be chasing trends. I mean, you shouldn't be predicting trends. You should be chasing them. And when I say, like, when fidget spinners came out, if you would have caught on day one to that trend, you would have been educated enough to say, hey, this is going to be a big trend. And you would have made a little bit of money. That was not, and like hoverboards. Think about that. Everyone and their mother started selling hoverboards like 5 months after the trend was big.
And at first they were like $2,000-3,000 a pop. And then, after 5, 6, 7, 8 months, they were like $200, right? But the people who started selling in the very beginning cashed out big time.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, 2 minutes left.
2 minutes left. You guys got 2 minutes to ask me some better questions. Some of these are going to take me too long to answer.
What cash this?
Okay, I'm going to give this one to Josh. You go back 5 years, even though you're pretty young still.
Right.
If you go back to 15, what would you tell yourself, and what would you tell yourself to do differently? In 60 seconds, go.
In 60 seconds, what would I tell myself at 15? Personally, if I
your same self, so
like, number one, so I don't regret anything I've done. So but if I had to restart, I'd probably cut out sports, focus more on business, etc. But I think what I would do is I'd start taking accountability for my actions a lot sooner, instead of blaming the outside world on why I am where I currently am. And
30 seconds.
I would try to learn and develop more skills a lot faster. I would learn sales. I would learn, the money blueprint, how to think about money. I would really, really, really focus on personal development and become a better, smarter person a lot faster. Because I had to learn all these skills, at 18, 19, instead of being able to learn. If I would have learned them at 15, then I could have reached that success a lot faster. So I think I just would have became a better person and had a better mindset. Pretty much the same type of stuff we're teaching you right now. I would have did that a lot earlier.
I'll say this. I'll say, if it comes to what I would tell myself, if I was 5 years, so what would I be? 18 again?
Yeah.
If I was 18 again, I don't know how much I would have done differently at like 18, 19. I think I did a lot of things right, but not money-wise. So I tell myself to have better money management skills. I would start saving it when I made it instead of spending it when I made it. But if I could do the same thing as Josh and start when I was 15, I would say, yo, you're gonna be 20 way faster than you think you are. Like I would be like, so if you guys are 20 years old, I'm going to say you guys are going to be 23 way fucking faster than you think you're going to be. I know you guys see, oh, 3 years is going to be a long time. Each year goes faster. And I'm going to end this with this question. I had fun with you guys tonight, but it's getting long. Each year goes faster. And what I mean by that is, you guys can't really say like you were consciously making decisions at like 9, 10, 11. Like you weren't like, you became conscious. You became like about what you want out of your life and like what you could be one day and how you treated people. And if you wanted to do your homework, those were all decisions after like 12, 13, 14. And not when you were 8, you were just doing things. Like I don't remember doing homework and deciding I don't want to do this when I was 8. But when I was 15, sure as fuck, I was like, I don't want to do this. It's not. And I knew why I wanted to do this. So consciously, you guys are not 23, 24 years old. I could say consciously, I'm 23, I'm 10 years old. So each year in my mind for the last 10 years of consciousness, if I have 3 years, that's all I know. So that'd be 33%. And 33% is a lot of 100% compared to if I have 10 years of consciousness, that's 10%. So as you get older, it gets faster because the way your mind views it is it's going to be like, yo, I have spent more life. I've lived more life. And as I've lived more life, the expectation gets smaller because the percentage of how much consciousness you've spent is smaller. So the best way I can explain this is realize that like, yo, the time's going to go by faster and faster and faster and faster. And if you're not willing to sacrifice like this year, which you probably won't even remember. If you think about the last year, right? It went by like that. But like the last 3 days, you can remember like a fucking movie. The last year went by like that because your subconscious mind runs 90% of it. So if you guys are young, you guys should be developing skills all of the time. You guys should be just dedicating so much time into yourselves because you're not going to even remember doing the work. It sucks right now. But like, think about, you guys all graduated high school, probably most of you. You guys all graduated high school and now you guys don't even remember doing all the homework. You guys don't even remember taking all the tests. You guys probably don't even remember half the conversations or 90% of the conversations you guys had. And so, you know, someone said I'm in senior year. Well, when you're a freshman year, I doubt you remember more than 5% of it. So, you know, while you're young, and this is me talking to myself even, you guys should really be dedicating and just sucking it up and just getting good at shit. Like, you're not even gonna remember the hard work. So, all right, guys, I'm tuning out. I'm saying bye for Josh too. He went away. I hope you guys have a blessed weekend. Obviously, you have only 1 day left, but I will see you guys next Saturday, and then I'll see you guys in the group chats. So peace out. I hope you guys had a good night, and I will see you soon.